So it took all of the switch to get the show going on smoothly. Eagle walks in, takes off his jacket, salts his hall.
What are you trying to say, Mo?
And then he has the show running smoothly.
What are you trying to say, Mo?
But you're a bad producer.
Okay, but to my defense, could I have known that issue was going to happen?
Well, in your defense, don't fucking touch the setup.
But all I did was put my headphones in the jack. That's all I did.
Just don't.
Oh, sorry. The only headphones that work on this freaking computer are those cheap ass Sony ones you're using.
It's because the ones that I have are automatically connected to the sound settings. So when you unplug it, you lose the device. When you plug yours in, it changes all your
So
settings.
you're saying that we need to Bluetooth that set.
So, but you know what's funny? What's funny is that we were on the I put it live right away, right? And I was just like playing around to see if it works. But I had my headphones in, and my headphones didn't have a speaker. So somebody wrote, I don't know who it was, like, we can hear you. And I was like, how the hell can they hear us? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, my headphones have a speaker, have a voice, have a mic. So I was like, frig, man. Can I swear? I can swear. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. I thought the suits at Legal was gonna like can us all because we were talking like bleep about them all. That's what
Rob likes to make fun of me about these things, but you put Rob behind there, I think he becomes the dumbest person on earth.
He would implode.
Yeah, 100%.
He would implode, and he'll call like old names like Eddie Tarabay or.
He'd start talking about like Andrew Blades. He'll start talking about Andrew Blades and Ross Castleton and
Steph Primo
and Shane Williams. Oh, Shane Williams is technically still active, and Shane Primo.
Who is Chris Smith?
Chris Smith. Oh, Chris Smith was. There was actually two Chris Smiths. Two of them. They were both actually very good players. One of them played with Monstars. Who was the other one?
I forget the other one.
But you know the one I'm talking about with Monstars. He played with us.
Yeah.
He played football in the States, I think. He was pretty good actually. Then he stopped showing up.
And who's the other guy who had a demo reel of all his FPF plays?
Oh.
Who was that?
I know you're.
Oh, yeah.
You know who it is. It's not coming to me.
All his own plays, right?
Yeah. Andre Knights.
Andre Knights, yeah, of course. Andre Knights.
Who is Andre Knights?
Who is Andre Knights? Great guy, Andre Knights. Big fan.
Yeah, big time player. I played the Div 1.
He could be still a good player. I don't know what shape he's in now if he's continued to play, but if he had continued to play, he'd still be a very effective Div 2 player for sure.
I think he would.
I mean, if I'm not in.
Well, Terry's not in. Simone's not in yet. Eagle is in. Yeah, you're in, right?
Oh, yeah. Not for a player, though.
Of course, no. I wouldn't get in for player either. I have 2 touchdowns on 3 teams this year.
Put on the poll question. Does FPF function normally without Eagle? Yes or no?
Oh, I couldn't put a poll
100%
up either.
No.
Put down the poll, please.
I don't need to put the poll. I know the answer.
Put on the poll because I don't think you get a full 100% vote.
I don't need my ego boosted anymore. It's already super high.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so it's Calling the Audible. It is Terry Tam in place of Peasy, who's still in Colombia, I guess.
Suffering from food poisoning.
Is he suffering from
He actually did get food poisoning, which
What?
is hilarious.
According to his wife's Instagram post, they have food poisoning.
So what happened? Like, did they put like yayo in the food and they just?
But you know what? Maybe they one of those avocados that were full of cocaine. Did you see that video?
I did not.
There was a
That's amazing.
There was a drug bust. I guess it's in Mexico or Colombia or whatever, and you see like one of the DA guys cracking open an avocado full of cocaine.
Also, why are these
Truckloads.
candies all in little baggies?
Because I bought them from the depanneur for $1 each.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So they're just pre-separated.
These bags haven't been used for other purposes.
Well,
in your
you
other.
wonder-
I mean, I don't know.
wonder-
The guy owns it. He's Chinese. So
not in your alternative career. Or anything.
No, not at all.
These are Chinese bags?
Yeah.
So if I open up the bag, it's possible I'm going to get coronavirus air in it.
Or anthrax.
You
But
wonder-
I had a couple and I'm
I'll
fine.
take the anthrax.
Yeah, I'd
I
rather
wonder
the
how
anthrax
old
at
those
this point.
candies are, though.
How old?
Yeah.
They're pretty good. They're pretty like I had them. I had a couple the other day.
They're dead, for sure.
Yeah, they're all
We
dead.
killed them all.
Yeah, for sure. They're not alive. They're not raw.
Before the hour finishes, probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into Simon's script because Simon did the script for us this week, so
Yeah.
we have to go by what he wants to do, Simon, because this is a Simon script.
We are going to have JF Marquis, Tara Mrakic. I can never pronounce her name. I'm sorry.
Mrakic. I apologize to
Mrakic.
Tara.
I've done it like 8 times, and I
called
get
it-
it wrong every time.
We
Even
ca-
for the finals, I mistype it every time.
Oh,
And
you
I'm like,
mistype it? Okay,
Tara,
that's
can you
worse.
come check it? She's like, it's on Facebook. How do you fuck this up every time?
It's if you mistype it, it's worse than mispronouncing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's
I've,
worse?
I've done that.
So you suck.
What's worse, mispronouncing a name or misspelling a name?
We just
Misspelling.
answered it. Yeah, misspelling for sure.
I think
That's way worse.
mispronouncing.
Misspell because it's in front of you.
Yeah, but can you get the if you go on YouTube, can you get the
Because not everybody can pronounce like last
Well,
names. Like
there's
imagine
a
pronouncing
good
a
one.
Greek last name and you can't speak you never heard a Greek name before.
Eleftherios.
Yeah.
You gotta get
Anastasiou.
you gotta get the you gotta get this in Google or YouTube. Type in Dwayne Wade, Dwayne Jones, please, and we'll
Why somebody keeps on calling him Dwayne Jones?
Well, if you
Yeah, we
get
gotta
that on
get it.
YouTube, then I'll paint the picture.
In the
Okay,
meantime, Division 3.
all right, but Div 3, like,
Calm, collected, has a will to win because his name, of course, is Wade Jones.
All right.
hold on. The president goes, "Who that?"
Who said that?
The fan in
the
the crowd
fans.
for Dwayne Wade when they won the 06 title. But the best is after she says Dwayne Jones, there's like a silence, awkward silence with the fans and the people on the stage, and then you hear, "Who dat?" All right, so who dat? So we talk about the Pineapple Express and Greendale Human Beings, and the Express win this game 30-26. A big answer of the bell here for Chris Olsen,
Big time.
22 of 26 for 5 TDs. I score kept this game. Their defense came huge. Anthony Lazare went down with a bad injury. Not too sure what the extent is if he'll be out. But this was a huge win for Pineapple Express because they were on the borderline of not making the playoffs and drowning with the non-playoff teams in April.
They were coming into the season. I thought that they were probably one of the most stacked teams in Division 3 with Joe Malkin, AJ. They have a few no-namers that are very good that I scrimmaged with in the offseason. They're good. And Chris Olsen, man, he's a hit or miss kind of guy, but when he's on, man, there's not much better than him in Division 3, I think. I think Chris Olsen has a good receiving core. He just needs to get used to giving them the ball.
I think that's his biggest problem, right? It's
Yeah.
consistency.
Yeah, that's
Some games
always
he'll
been his
just
problem.
dominate, and other games it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Well, the
It's
problem
always
is,
been Chris
though,
Olsen's problem.
The problem is with Chris Olsen is that he had a great game last Sunday, but what's his forte for this week? They have 2 games left. They are in full control of their playoff destiny now
What do they
at
have?
4-4. I believe from what I recollect for their schedule for the next 2 weeks here, they will have an Olympia performance, easy win. That should be a nice win.
Should be.
For him. And they play the Niners, which is also in the
Hit or miss.
Yeah, they're in the middle category of
That's
the
a Chris Olsen loss to me, though. You know what I mean?
It is, but also if that's a Chris Olsen win, that means you're looking at perhaps the Pineapple Express maybe jumping over the Niners if the Niners do falter this week as well. So they both have 2 games left, and it might end up being a 4-5 versus matchup or 3 versus 6, or someone jumping with someone else to get a higher ranking in the playoffs.
If you click on play-by-play, can you show it to me?
Yes.
Does anything? Can we see? Actually,
I did an
Yeah.
impeccable job, actually.
I haven't opened one.
AJ Gomes, though.
Oh,
was
there you
phenomenal.
go. Okay.
AJ Gomes had a spectacular touchdown grab where he was like literally mauled down the sidelines and he looped around the
Scroll
DB
down. Scroll down to the
and
end.
scored the touchdown.
To the last touchdown.
Last touchdown?
Well, no, I just want to see
Here.
the last things that happen here. Okay, so I mean, from what you see here, Chris Olsen is pretty consistent. The only thing is maybe on GHB side, they I mean, I can't tell just by looking quickly like this, but for the most part, Danny Awards probably just couldn't figure out their defense. You know what I mean? There's a lot of incomplete passes
Yeah,
there.
he was frustrated.
Yeah,
he
there's
was
a lot
not
of
very
incomplete
happy.
passes there. And AJ calls a good defense. I mean, he kind of telegraphs it from where he is, but because you pretty much know he's always going to drop or it's going to be man. But for the most part, even if you know what's happening, he's probably still going to come up with a big play. And they have other big play players in their team, so I'm not surprised. The only thing is when actually I spoke to AJ before the game when we were playing on Sunday, and I told him that this is a bad matchup for you guys, but you guys can easily win this game, and that's exactly what happened. It's not the greatest matchup because some teams don't do well against teams that run a weird system, right? We can always talk about the 2.5 Dans, his
Joy
protege,
Taylor
Joy
offense.
Taylor and his protege, and Danny Aylward and Brandon and all these guys. They run a weird offense, but it works for them, right? So whatever. But that's what I'm saying. So AJ. A lot of guys that know how to call defenses kind of lose themselves in this. I experienced it with Vince Nardone. Vince Nardone is probably one of the best defensive play callers I've ever played with. He can't call a defense against Joey. He can't.
Yeah,
It
he
doesn't
gets
work.
frustrated by that. Like
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's like his
But they're
veins
good,
pop
man.
out
They
in
shouldn't
his
be in
forehead.
the Pineapple Express shouldn't be in the position that they're in right now.
Well, they control their fate because
Yeah.
Greendale Human Beings now have 1 game left at 3-5-1. They're at 7 points. They have to win and hope and pray to the football gods that someone
flag
like
football gods,
yeah,
flag football gods.
yeah, exactly. That the backyard bullies, Pineapple Express, and Sweating Beers essentially lose all their games that they have left on their schedule. Jean-Felix will join us in a few minutes here. So right now, GHB is in a bad position because, hey, if they won that football game, we're talking about them being in a prime playoff spot with 1 game to go for them. And Pineapple Express in serious trouble. So
Yeah.
one game makes a difference for them overall. Any games that caught your attention, Terry Tam?
In Division 3.
Division 3. That was
All right, I gotta
we're doing
see.
Div
This.
3.
I know. I'm drawing a blank here. 1 second. I did score keep a few games, a few Div 3 games.
Did you really? Because I didn't.
I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, 'cause
Don't
must
wait,
be
don't tell me.
So many Div 3 games.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Must have been a lot of Div 3 games because there's so many of them that I could tell you.
Nope, none.
No, I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Well, I did keep Portlock over Lebrum.
Okay.
Look, I thought Keep Portlock kind of allowed Lebrum to be in the football game, and Lebrum is almost the exact same thing as JJ Janvier. His team is almost identical to his
JJ January.
yeah, to
Jimmy Lee, you mean?
Yeah, Jimmy Lee and all those guys. It's almost identical to his other team that he has. Great athletes, but the reality is that when it came down to FPF knowledge, Ryan Reedy backed in the lineup for Keep Portlock, but it was the dink and dunk of Jeff Rosenblatt that took control of the football game, and they made a lot less mistakes when it counted most in the second half, and LeBrum was trying to go for the deep ball continuously, and that failed them.
So I was going to say, is it lack of FPF knowledge, or is it more that they play a much more like individualistic, one-on-one type of offense and defense?
The way Jimmy calls his something happened. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear myself. The way Jimmy calls his offense is very is very tackle. It's very isolated. Everything is ISO'd. So he's calling a play directly to one guy. If you pick up on that, you're pretty much going to stop it, right? Against us in Division 2 last week, it was the same thing. You just figure out what he does right away, and you shut it down, and then they're done for the rest of the game.
Well, I think, look, here's the thing about Jimmy Lee. He's a really good quarterback. He had some good games for LeBrum in Div 3. But the problem is, it's the same thing with Chris Olsen, right? You don't know which quarterback you're going to get week in and week out, because if he needs to get in a rhythm early, and if he feels it, he's unstoppable. But when he's off, as he was in this game on Monday night at Hebert, it's very tough for him to get going. And I think that was pretty evident early on that they just couldn't find the holes in that Keyport defense, and they were just kind of exposed because they couldn't be patient with their offense, and Jeff Rosenblatt was, and that really chewed up clock and allowed them to win by 6.
Jeff Rosenblatt, if you give him a little bit of a space, kind of like just half a second, he could pick you apart. And if this division, it's made for him. I don't think anything higher, anything lower, he doesn't belong. Like Division 3 is where he's made for this division. If you give him just a little bit, and they do, because the way La Brume, and we talk about, I forgot what they're called in Division, no cap in Division 2.
Yeah, that's right.
The way they call their D is very uninformed to how flag football defense should be called. You know what I mean? They show it early. Like they don't line up straight on the line. They know exactly you can tell exactly who's dropping, exactly who's staying short. You can tell if they're going man. So right away you can figure it out. And Jeff Rosenblatt, smart enough guy, played in this league a long time, played in high divisions too. He can figure it out, and that's exactly what happened this game.
And look, I think right now for the duration of the season that's left over, and we'll talk about Trinity in moments now, you look at the conference below in Conference B, Brotherhood are in complete control.
Yeah.
I believe we have JF Marquis with us.
Yes, we do.
Yes, it's me.
JF, how you been, my man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. JF, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Can I put my life on your team to throw a deep ball every first play on offense that you have during your FPF career?
He's not going to tell us.
They go deep all the time. First play of every game on score cap, they go deep.
Yeah, not this season because my brother is not playing.
Okay, there you go.
I need my brother to that play work.
What also you need to do is you need to bring back those handlebars. What is this picture I'm looking at right now, Jeff? Your
The one
picture.
with my awesome beard?
Yeah. Sure, awesome.
Wow.
Awesome is the word we're going to use, I guess.
Yeah. Every season, like I play football in the summer, and I make my beard grow. So when we end the season in November, I have the beard so it's cover my face when it's winter outside. So every time we do the FPF picture the week 2, I keep it and I just cut it like a weird face, like whatever I want to do. So I make a weird face or weird beard for the picture for FPF, and I keep that one on my profile picture because I think it was awesome. Like Moe, your picture on FPF is awesome. So.
Which one's yours, Mo?
The afro. It's the headshot of my afro. I look like
Yeah, the one with your afro, exactly.
Of course. JF.
It's okay. Mine's from 2009.
Yeah, it's true. Terrence looked baby. There
Or
you
baby
go.
face.
There you go. That's how I look.
Oh,
I
yeah,
keep
this
that one
picture.
for 10 years.
Exactly. It's going strong. JF, Trinity are 7-1. You're tied with KGP for first place in your conference. What has
Technically, we are first place because
Yes,
we beat KGP.
that is true. What has gone well for you for your team this year at this division for 3 this season?
Honestly, we're 7-1, and the only game we lost, we were all away. Like, I was in Mexico, and Jesse was away, and Nick tried to be QB, and Mark was at school, or whatever it was. And so we're like 7-0. We don't count that defeat. And I'll say that our secret, if I can say it, is like we play for fun, and we're like a bunch of friends. So we just like try kind of things, and we're really good in defense. So on offense, like I can follow like Jesse Lee. Sometimes he calls me some really good play, and it's always working. So I just have to like use every weapon that I have in offense, and on defense I just trust them. So that's why we succeed, because we trust each other. Is this answering your question?
Yeah,
Nice.
it does actually. Yeah. So who do you trust the most? I'm gonna give you 3 names. Okay.
If I have, okay,
I'm gonna give you
between the
3
three names that you gave me.
Yeah, I'm
okay,
gonna give you
let's
3
go.
names. You gotta tell me who you trust the most. Okay. Alexis Gaumont,
Yeah.
Alex Sampson, or JF Marquis.
I could go Samson.
Yeah.
You want to trust myself?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll explain the first 2 picks, not me. Gomez is a short throw. Like, if you throw to him, he never drops the ball, and he can make some incredible play after the catch.
I don't
But
want to say he
Sampson-
never drops balls. I've seen Gaumont drop plenty balls, and it's very weird. I saw him drop like 5
Yeah,
in a
he
game.
only dropped when he's sure he's going to shake the guy on defense. Like, he stopped looking at the ball, and he dropped it. And
Yeah,
always
exactly.
like, what the fuck you doing, bro?
Exactly.
But if I have to throw to someone and make something happen after the catch, it will be Samson.
Yeah, for sure. He's
Like,
so nasty.
he don't have really the best hand in the league, but when he catch the ball,
Yeah.
Unless the game that we just played yesterday was Serge Gilmore's him all game long, no one is has the speed to follow Samson. So as soon as he catch the ball, if you miss his flag, he's gone. Like, he's really gone. And he's so freaking small, it's hard to take his flag. So if I have to go for Yak, I'll go for Samson. But
There you
for a short throw, it will be Gomo.
Okay.
And never me.
Never you.
Yeah.
What
I
about
just throw the ball to each other, and then I'm like, yeah, they catch it, and do your thing, guys.
what about drinking beer? Who would you take from those 3 guys as your beer buddy to go out for drinks on a Friday
Yeah,
night?
it will be Samson. I know him since we're in secondary one. Yeah, like I know him for more than 10 years now. So if I
JF,
don't pick him, he will be mad.
your last championship happens to be with Trinity back in spring 2017, if I'm looking at this properly. So you've been kind of on a championship drought for a few years now. What's different about this iteration of Trinity that makes you think you're going to be able to win the championship at the end of the year?
The difference with this Trinity and the past Trinity is the first Trinity was just a bunch of friends from school, and we have players that cannot play in 3. Like, they can play in 3, but they will not be competitive. Like, now I have Jesse and Gaumont. They're both from Alpha T that they're not playing into, but they should be playing in Division 2. So they're good. They're like a good acquisition for our team. And it's hard to tell your friend that, man, I have to replace you with someone better than you. And that's why we're like so good right now, because we just put every piece that we can put together to make a good team. And I play with friends in a lower division, so that's the difference between past Trinity and Trinity that we have right now.
Jeff, which team do you think gives you the toughest challenge as you move towards the playoffs?
Will give us the better challenge?
Yeah, the toughest challenge. Which team do you think will give you the toughest challenge as you move towards the playoffs? Is it the Niners? Is it KGP? Is there a team that you think
It's definitely not the Niners. But I'll be honest, I'm so busy right now at the work that I don't
no.
have.
Hold on, Jeff. Why not the Niners?
They beat us by a lot. We were all absent. They just play against 4 of us, like 4 or 5 of us. I was not even there to play, and they win the game on a Hail Mary pass on the last play of the game. Like they push one of our guys deep, like down on the floor, and the guy catch it, and the ref said no penalty, and they win on that play. But for sure, if all our team is here, there's no way they're gonna beat us like that.
Okay, so
I'm not worried about the 69ers.
So Niners easy win. So who was the toughest team then? In your
I'm not saying that they're easy win. They're just not going to beat us like that. If they have to beat us, they will do, but not like this. There's no way we'll lose against them like that.
Okay,
How
so
about
I'll make the question easier for you then.
Yeah.
So you're. It looks like you're probably going to finish first or second, right? I think that's
in Conference A.
in Conference A, exactly.
Yeah,
So you'll probably play one of these 4 teams: Dirty Dogs, Backyard Bullies, Pineapple Express, or Sweat and Beers. Out of
Which
those
one, Jordan Allard is inside?
Jordan Allard,
Backyard Bullies.
Bullies. So out of those
Yeah.
4 teams, which team do you want to play the most? Like basically the team that you think is going to be the easiest win.
The team that Jordan Allard is in.
So the Bullies.
Yeah.
Is it because of Jordan specifically? Because I'm going to agree
Yeah.
with you here.
Yeah. The only reason that I want to call his name in his team is because the shit happened at the last time we played each other.
What happened?
I'm
What
not-
happened? Explain to us what happened.
Okay. He catch a ball and run to the sideline.
Yeah.
I put my hand on his chest to make sure that he was going outside. It's technically not illegal,
Yeah.
but he ran outside. Last of the game, we were winning. Game was over. I was running toward the sideline after the first down, and he just took his elbow and hit me right in the chest. And I was not sure if he would do this to put me out or to try to like kind of hurt me because he was freaking mad at the game. So at the end of the game, I just called him because he did that. And all his team tried to start to talk shit to me. And I just said, next time I'm going to freaking beat you. So I just want to play against them, beat them, and get out of the playoffs and see them whatever next year. So I don't give a fuck when I see them.
So if you and Jordan Allard went in a boxing match, 12 rounds.
No, don't answer that question.
Yo, he's going to beat me. Yo, he's in better shape than me. That guy is a good player. It's the first time I have a problem with him. I don't know if he was pissed or because I'm talking a lot on the field, but that shit happened, and I just want to beat them again.
To Jordan's defense, I mean, I know Jordan pretty well, and he's a very passionate player. And sometimes, you can get under his skin pretty easily if for something.
Yeah.
The smallest thing can chip him off. But for the
Yeah,
most part,
I say so
99% of the
much shit
time,
on that
one of the
field.
best guys in the league for sure.
Yeah, I know. This is like I was pissed at him after the game and the day after, but I'm like, damn, I have to play against that guy. He's chill. Normally, he's chill.
Yeah, super nice
Damn,
guy.
and he hit me with his freaking elbow, and I was so mad at it.
I think we're all guilty of that.
So,
Yeah.
JF, let's assume you make your way out of Conference A to the finals. You're going to
Yeah.
have to play a team from Conference B. Right now, let's assume it's going to be either the Brotherhood, the Crew, or Les Malouds. It could also be Keyport Lock.
Yeah.
Which
I
of
don't
those
wanna
teams
play-
gives you
yeah.
the most worry? Yeah.
Okay, if I said the Brotherhood, it's only because not only Theo. Oh, they're freaking good. I hate them just because they read me so well. And I think I won only one game against them. I think it was with the game that Simon Dagenet is the QB. I just was replacement, and I won the game. I was like, freak, man, I beat Brotherhood for once.
Yeah.
But Les Malouds are really scary. I never played them, but everything I heard about those guys is positive. So I'm like, damn, they should be really good.
All right, so JF, if you guys
Yeah.
win the Div 3 title on April 4th or 5th, what day is the Div 3 finals, Eagle?
Fourth or fifth. I
4th
don't
or
know.
5th, whatever day it is, okay?
Yeah.
30 days from now.
Will you be dousing yourself in beer on Field 3 in Brossard in front of the cameras?
Hell yeah.
You want me to do what?
Pour beer.
Pour beer all over you, like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Like pour beer all over yourself in celebration.
Yeah, hey, if I make it to the final, you can be sure I'll have a crazy beard on myself. Probably like the Hulk Hogan one.
There you go. I'll have one
There
for you
go.
too,
Exactly.
Yeah, if I make it, you can be sure I'll have it.
and I'll get the beer for you.
And it's technically Saturday, 6:30. Technically, we might move them around depending on multiplayer conflicts and the whole stuff. But right now, it's Saturday, 6:30 for the Division 3
Jeff,
finals.
Which is April
So
5th,
Jeff,
4th?
bookmark
4th.
that.
Yeah.
Save the date.
Yeah.
Save the date. 6:30 p.m. Saturday, April 4th. We'll see you at the.
Yeah, I'll do my best to make sure that we're there.
JF, thanks so much for joining us. A lot of fun chatting with you, and can't wait for that Jordan Allard JF Marquis fight.
One thing I'll say about JF is that I noticed JF and I, we've only spoken maybe once or twice, but I've noticed with Trinity, not specifically JF, is that they started in the lower divisions and they've moved up to Division 3, and JF has become one of the premier passers in Division 3. Say what you want about their defense. The defense is good too, but for the most part, Trinity is where they are because of JF, and I hope to see them in Division 2 next year to see what happens.
Yeah, a big jump, man. I'll do my best to make sure that we go to Division 2.
All right, Jeff. Have a good
All right,
one,
it was
man.
nice to talk to you guys.
Always, Jeff. Take care, man.
Later,
Goodbye.
Jeff Marquis with us as he wants to kick Jordan Allard's bleep.
No, man. He wants to beat the team. He doesn't want to beat him up. Stop trying to start shit, Mo.
I just think he wants to put it on the poll, please. Does Jeff Marquis
Does JF want to beat up
Jordan Allard? Does he want to beat up Jordan Allard or beat up the team?
Yeah.
After Bullies.
So that means he wants to take on Rich Humes, Sean Avraam, Steve Sanner, Vinny Golano. Out of that entire team, I think Steve Sanner beats up every single one of them.
Who's more thug life, Steve Sanner or Sean Avraam?
Thug life?
Yeah.
Sanner's got an edge to him, but Sean has like this calm, like this. Just don't get in my face, like one of those.
Sean.
Speaking of Sean, we'll have him on later.
Yeah, later on. All right, so let's just recap Div 3 because we have to get to Div 6 after this, Eagle.
Correct.
What's the hour one? 3, 6, and
That's it.
That's it. Okay, cool.
It's almost like you haven't done this show in a couple weeks.
Well,
It's almost like you haven't done it for 8 weeks.
It's almost like you were in Boston last week and didn't help us from Boston.
I actually did. You were calling me multiple times to try and troubleshoot.
Well, someone's calling off air. We were trying to produce.
Oh no, you were on air. People heard you.
The show was fine. The interviews for
We
the
had to
other hand.
recap. See, it was so good. We brought them back week 2.
It's a shame that Terrence's interview went. Maybe we can have him on next week
Oh, damn Terrence.
We got because we did Terrence's interview last week.
It was
and it didn't work.
phenomenal. Talking about badminton.
So we got
actually.
Tara back. Yeah.
Okay, so Theo Jail will join us, I think, next week.
There you go.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. He
Fire
wasn't
peas, I
happy.
wanna be here.
He wasn't happy for the way that we were describing Brotherhood because he thought, I don't know, I guess it was something we said, or I don't know if it was you and I or Simon or whoever it was. He thought that it was an insult towards Brotherhood.
First of all, I think we were very complimentary about Brotherhood last week.
I think it's a build-up, like a stacking of
But that's
insults.
peas. I think peas is the problem because peas. I mean, we did a segment on the other podcast, Hot Sauce Sports, where what do you not like about peas? And one thing we don't like about
Hold on.
You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.
that guy's voice. So one of the things is that what peas does is that when he doesn't have an educated opinion or something, he just blabbers on for 3 minutes, and he just said some dumb stuff about Brotherhood they don't like. So every week it's something with peas.
Okay, so Brotherhood, I think, well, they're going to be the number 1 seed. You said and I said they need to have a loss before the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I agree.
They're probably going to go 10-0. I figure who their last game is, Eagle, if you don't mind.
All hooks.
All
Oh,
hooks.
yeah, we
And
spoke
that's-
about this last
And that could very well be a round 2 playoff matchup for the.
It's a W for Brotherhood though. Like
Yeah.
unless they come, unless nobody gives a shit and they don't show up. But
Right. Well, no, they do give a bleep and they'll show up.
they want to be 10-0.
The problem with Brotherhood to me is that they haven't had any decisive wins, like real clean wins against teams that are actually good.
Well, the game against Malud was super chippy, but they dominated most of the game.
But let's
I
not
will
Yeah,
say
but
that.
you win by less than a score and you put up 19
I think
points.
Malud scored really late, and it was just a defensive struggle. They threw like 3 picks each. It was one of those things, but they were, for the most part, dominating the game.
I guess my point is if the defense doesn't show up for a game, the Brotherhood don't have a chance. That's really what it comes down to.
Well, we're not talking about Theo as if he's one of the best quarterbacks in Division 3. We're talking about Theo as if he's probably the best defensive player in Division 3. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what it is with Brotherhood is that they've had a lot of close wins, which I think would prevail well in the playoffs
Yeah,
because
it's
you know how it
true.
is, right? Teams that
a good
score
point.
40 during the regular season have difficulty scoring 25 in the playoffs. So this
But
might be
they've only hit 30 once this year, and it was against Lonzo Ballers, who were the worst team in Division 3.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them for a bit, huh? Like,
I
what the hell's going on there?
I think for Brotherhood, it would be. It's not about having the big plays; it's about having the least amount of mistakes. For
Yeah.
them at this point. In
Yeah,
the
that's
year.
true.
So I just think that if they go 10-0, which is a strong possibility, look, depending who they get in the first round, it could be Jagerbomb, which is a really good playoff team that we've had.
they go to the finals every year, so
It's
you
like
don't want that matchup.
Foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
Commission, they're in trouble. They're in serious trouble right now with 2 games left. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs as an 8 seed. If
Yeah.
they do, they won't catch up with Brotherhood. But if the Bearskins fall into that predicament, if it's going to be even all hooks again, it's not going to be an easy first-round matchup unless they do get Jagerbomb, which is not going to be even easier. So they have some difficult first-round potentials in about a few weeks from now.
Word.
Anything else in Div 3 before we go to Div 6?
We'll be putting up the current playoff standings in a little bit. Granted, it's pretty easy for Div 3 because it's 1 to 8 and 1 to 8. But we'll have the nice little infographics coming up very soon.
You know what I would have loved to have seen for Div 3 playoffs? Like we follow the UEFA style of how they do knockout rounds where we
Bids?
like a tirage, you put them in bowls. So let's say that the top 4 teams from each division are in
How
one
would that
bowl.
work? What do you got? Trinity and Brotherhood.
Well, I'm saying, like for example, you have the top 4 teams. from
Oh,
each
okay, I
side.
know what you're saying.
In one bowl, you have the top 4 teams from each conference. So that's 8 in one bowl, and the bottom 4 from each division.
And then you place them in groups.
No, you pick them out. All right, you
Yeah,
have
you
Brotherhood
place them.
against Team X, for example.
But
Yeah.
for playoffs?
Yeah,
Yeah, so basically what you do is...
I understand.
You understand
just- yeah.
yeah. It's just you do.
I guess. I mean, I would only do that in like Division 5 where there's a
Well, I was
shitload
going
of
to say,
teams.
the biggest question we've always had is, do we reseed or not after every round,
Always
right?
reseed.
So
Or-
for all the divisions, we do it, but Division 6 and 6D is the only one we don't because we do a
There's a
full...
crossover.
Yeah, we basically do a full bracket.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be fascinating to see, right? You know, we always talk about how there's always those power teams on one side of the conference. It's like, oh, it's too bad that's not the final, right? So let's put your money where your mouth is. Let's put them in that tirage and pick them out. Hey, you got Trinity as the one they're playing.
I never understood that because we never say like in the NHL. It wasn't Washington versus who finished first in the West last year? The Vegas Knights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't them in the finals. It was St. Louis versus Boston, and St. Louis was probably a 7 seed, I think.
Yeah, they were almost done by the
And they won.
Stars.
Nobody's saying, "Oh, it's not the real Stanley Cup final." It was the real Stanley Cup final. You have to win, to beat the team in front of you to be considered a champion. If you didn't beat the team in front of you and you're not in the final, then you're not a champion.
I think it'd be fascinating though. If we
I agree. I like the concept, but I would do it more in the bigger divisions, like 5.
Well,
like
three. I mean, quantity. And
Yeah,
numbers,
exactly,
Not
yeah.
the
Yeah.
quality of teams.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something we can toy with for spring if they allow us. But
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna pull card. I'm gonna pull rank here. You can do that, Moe Khan.
I will. I'll talk to Rob. And
No.
I'll get
You don't need to talk to me.
and then the battling. You know what it is, Mo? Like, guys.
Man, no, Terry. I know you have good ideas and everything, but you can't be making rules.
on the fly here. We're
I
2
mean,
weeks away from playoffs.
Terry. Not for anything. I mean, Mo, you know what I'm talking about here. You worked in
Terry,
sports.
Eagle, you know what you're talking
Eagle.
about.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about because you know how to produce. But you have to at the end of the day. I mean,
Yeah,
I get
you
it,
gotta
but
bring it
you can't do that.
Ah, shit.
Shit.
What did Eagle do this time? Where is he this week? But anyway, like something to toy with for future playoffs because we always had the traditional.
I love how Mo has all these ideas, but only tells us on the podcast, not actually in our behind the scenes.
Yeah. And then
meetings.
God
Well,
forbid
no,
you
it's-
suggest anything in the off season, right?
No, well, I have an idea that Terry didn't like too much, but
Which was?
the extra point convert.
Not that I didn't like it too much. I like it.
I think it should be toyed with for spring season.
No, but I
though.
didn't like your increments
Well, why not?
because you said 2. You said 1 from the 1,
Yeah,
2 from the 5
if you don't run.
if you don't run, and 2 from the 10, but you can run.
Yeah. Okay. So long story short, because I don't want to take away from 6 here. So
Why not go 3 from the 10 at that point?
Well, also, is an extra point really worth half a touchdown?
Well, here's my theory, right?
Oh, there you go.
Because
No, but he didn't say 3. He said 2 from the 10.
yeah, because
But you
the
can
ar-
run.
The
2 from the 5
argument
you
is,
can't run.
is
But
that
then, can I get it at the 5.5?
no,
Can I
Why
get it
would
to
you say-
7?
no,
No, it has to be from 10
from 10.
to run.
Mm,
It would most likely be
Or
7.
you know what? You can put it
Go
at 7.
157.
Yeah, you want to go 157. That's even better, right?
Yeah.
You give the option of, hey, you have the option of going from 1, 5, or 7 for a 1 or 2 point convert. That's all it is.
It's not a terrible idea
The reason why I bring it up is because you look
But
at
what's the extra 2 yards if you're going to pass the ball?
because you can run.
yeah.
No, I mean, why would you ever take it at the 5 when you can take it at
Because
the
some
7
guys
and leave
don't wanna
yourself the
run.
option to run?
Yeah, but some guys don't
Yeah.
run though, right? Some guys want to be
Some guys like
closer.
shorter routes. Some
Yeah,
guys
but you actually want more space.
Yeah, but
some guys don't like the space. They're
Yeah.
very good in the red zone. Like the Braves.
yeah.
They'll go for 2
Yeah, but they're good anywhere.
from 7 every single time.
But
They won't go for 2 from 10.
And the reason why I bring it up is because you look at divisions like 6 and 6.
Why don't you bring it to the competition committee when we have our actual meetings and not
Well,
on
they
there?
wanna
Just,
speed-
you
they
know
wanna
what, Mo?
speed
Just
it.
another committee that Terry Tam
Yeah.
wasn't invited to.
I was invited to that when they had all dressed pizza when I asked for vegetarian pizza.
That sounds about right.
Oh, blasphemy. Mo can't eat pepperoni.
This coming from the employee that doesn't come to our staff parties.
It's coming from the guy who doesn't vote when he's a Hall
You
of
were
Famer
invited
and
to the
staff
staff party,
member.
by the way.
Huh?
You were invited to the staff party, so don't fuck me on that one.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, not me. I'm saying from him.
Okay, so
He's
let's
a Hall of
talk
Famer
6.
and he's staff and he doesn't vote for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't vote for
he doesn't believe in the Hall of Fame.
No, I think it's.
We're gonna kick him out.
It's
Just take him
like,
out, yeah.
It's like the Loch Ness monster. Is it real? Is it not real? Okay, so the reason why I bring it up is because you look at Div 6 and 6D, a lot of ties in this division, and games that I saw from 6 or 6D this week, Terry Tam, as I looked to load up the page for Division 6 first. As my throat is dry.
Give it to me, Eagle. Yeah, because my computer.
There we
is,
go. All right, so
Who was in charge of coffee this week, by the way?
Oh, I got my cell phone. I didn't ask.
Yeah. You got a
Sorry,
nice
buddy.
Mexican coffee or Brazilian owned.
I got a white chocolate, hot chocolate, which is full of sugar, right down your alley. And I'm about to crash.
I'm sure you
And
will.
did you finish the candies already?
Yeah,
You said an hour. It's been 40 minutes.
There wasn't a lot.
No. It's like
Only 3 bags worth.
it's like an addict who finds like a sugar rush. Okay, so the game that I saw was Pension Plan against Kings of the North. Now,
Oh, yeah. Awful.
Now here's the biggest storyline, and we didn't talk to Jeff Marquis from Trinity about this because this impacts his team as well. Is Stefan Turmel.
We should have brought it up, yeah.
We should have. I don't know if he knew or not. I don't want to.
Well, we could have asked him, has Turmel ever tried to punch somebody in the face?
Yeah. So the story was Stefan Turmel in the game against Pension Plan was a bit flustered because he got held once, got called, 5 yards, moved it up. Right.
They actually didn't get called. They didn't call
I'm
it.
sorry, what was he?
He was flustered. Exactly.
Perfect. Speaking of Theo.
And then, okay,
He's
he
flustered.
There you go.
There you
A
go.
little off over there. Okay, so then second time around, he gets again grabbed, and he gets spun around, and as he spins, he tries to left hook the player from Pension Plan. He misses, but it's obvious he took a punch at the guy.
Yeah.
And then the referees gave him UROC, kicked out of the game, and whatever it was. And that could be a big thing because we talk about punchings, and we do see it from time to time here. But what is the letter of the law here when it comes to punching Eagle? Is it something that is a long-term ban?
We were actually talking about this. What should the rule be? So who's on disciplinary committee? Are you on it?
I am not on it.
Okay.
I don't want to be on it,
Yeah.
for the record. I'm too much involved in the behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
it's its own third-party committee. So right now it has Stephen Hodhad and Rehan Sarwar, who are
Who's
both
Hodhad?
officials.
Hod.
Hod.
You said hot
Bird
hat.
Bird.
I said Hodhad.
You said Hod had.
Hot
Whatever.
hat.
Steve Hodhad.
Played back.
And apparently Justin Blanchard's on it.
Blanch.
The chairman is named by the Presidente himself. So right now it's Hodhad that actually runs it. There might be other people. I don't know if they've updated
I've put my
page
name in
a
there
while.
a bunch of times. Guess what? No call.
No.
I'm gonna start getting offended.
So anyways, the referees write a report to the committee. The committee reviews it. They reach out to the player usually to get their side of the perspective, and then they come to a verdict or ruling in terms of what it's going to be, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't actually have a status update on what's happened from this.
That happened last night on Wednesday night.
So yeah, it's
I
way too
can't-
fresh. Usually it takes 24, 48 hours.
I can't wait to hear what the suspension is going to be for one reason, and I'll talk about it after I hear what the suspension is. But Eagle, we had a question we were talking about on the sideline. Is throwing a punch and missing the same should be the same punishable the same way as throwing a punch and landing it?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, it's like I shot at the guy, but I was trying to kill him, but I took a shot at the guy. With the
Yeah,
ball.
I'm not gonna suspend you less games because you suck at boxing. You know what I mean?
Well, speaking of who didn't suck, Vince Pizzano, I had no idea. I scorekept this game. He won 26 of 27 for 216.
And you didn't notice.
I didn't know because
You didn't the
Vince
whole
Pizzano,
game,
We're
and
having
you
a
had
great
to actually
conversation.
work for the stats, and you didn't
because I was
notice.
so
We're-
flustered by the punch.
Flustered. It's got to be ready.
Flustered.
It's got to be ready, Eagle. It's got to be ready.
Who
I
did
have
you
a
see
lot
that?
of things going on.
Theo said that about who again? That was who? Kevin Wyeth?
What?
What?
That quote. I remember.
No, it was about Lazara, I think. No,
Yeah.
Yes,
flustered.
Lazara. Yeah, he's flustered. That's right.
was it Lazara?
It was Lazara. Yeah, you're
Pretty sure it
absolutely
was
right.
Lazara.
Yeah.
Oh, when he played for Waste Youth.
Yeah. So anyway, Pizzano threw an INT, but this was a good win for Pension Plan, even though Kings of the North were only 5 guys for
Yeah.
pretty much the entire football game. And you got Pension Plan, and this is the team that's been up and down this season. A lot of girth on this roster, not much speed to go with. Not many Alex Stackles that can go down the field here. But this could help in the long term of them qualifying for the playoffs.
Correct.
Oh, you left. You didn't really leave it open there. You just ended your sentence.
Well, I'm just asking you.
Any other games you caught this week?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So we were talking about this, and it's. I look at Pension Plan, and I like the way they're built, obviously for Division 6, but they shouldn't be in Division 6.
Yeah, you were true on these guys.
I mean, it's just like, first of all, they complain way too much, man. Like, one guy was complaining for like 5 minutes about the other guy's flag being under his shirt. What if it happened during the play?
It probably did.
Yeah, like stop complaining. I hate.
And
I
they're
hate-
6-3 in Div 6.
That's crazy.
well,
It's crazy to me.
They always pull a choke though in the playoffs. Pension Plan.
Well, it's obvious reasons because they probably just complain until because they're not getting what they want.
I have a bad taste with Pension Plan because if you recall,
Your boy, no? Isn't Vince your boy?
No, they're all my boys. But 2 years ago, if you recall, they had to play the U on a Saturday 11 a.m. at Loyola.
I do remember.
So Rob, Mo, listen, you live not too far from Loyola. Derry, you live far away, but you might come in to do the scorekeeping. No, it's sure, no problem, Rob. I score kept the game, And then I went with Leo and Walter Berry to Chalet Barbecue. Came home, slept, didn't feel well, and guess what I had? The chicken pox.
Oh, Chalet Barbecue is nice, man.
I'll never go back to Chalet Barbecue because I felt like that's where I got the chicken pox.
But you can only get it once. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You got chicken pox from Chalet Barbecue?
I think it was either from the game. I think Vince Pisano gave it
Yeah,
to
I
me,
don't think it was from the food.
or the food.
I don't think it was from
So
the food.
I'll never eat a Chalet Barbecue in my life.
You probably came into contact with somebody.
Who was it? Vince Pisano?
Probably Vince.
Anesthesia?
Vince has chicken pox. Don't sack him.
Don't say.
Anyway,
So they're 6-3 now.
Yeah.
Average Joe, Suicide Squad. I know this is a tight race for first place, but it looks like Suicide Squad with one game less played than these two teams, Joe's and the Plan, will control their fate to be a 1 seed at this point of the year.
So Suicide Squad to me is the team that should be running away with this division, like with the entire thing. But just with Gab Wiseman out there, obviously he takes up a lot of space, and he's the type of guy where you need to know where he is at all times. They are running away from it. They are with it. But you never know what you can face in the playoffs. I mean, what if they face a team like Kings of the North? Kings of the North, all of a sudden, they have this great game because they are capable of having those big games. What if they play Trap Stars? Trap Stars, all of a sudden, one of the best offenses in the league. They come up and they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to shut you guys down. Or what if they play Chambo? A bunch of newcomers to the league, don't know what the hell they're doing, somehow getting it done properly.
Isn't that Shambo?
No, it's Chambo because it's a park in Saint Laurent.
Oh, is it?
Chamberlain Park.
So it couldn't have park in somewhere else.
It's a park in Ville Saint Laurent. It's
Shambo.
confirmed. Chambo.
That wasn't confirmed to me, so I call it Shambo.
I guess you can call it whatever you want to call it. It's
Call
not
it
a real
Shambo.
word.
Look
not
up
like
the word,
Alex.
please. Eagle. Shambo. Definition of Shambo, please.
Definition of Shambo.
CHMBO.
Yes, I can
Shambo.
spell.
But one of my favorite teams to watch.
Chambo is a very valuable food fish endemic to Lake Malawi, which plays a very important role in the lake's community's economy and gastronomic culture.
There you go, guys. Congrats, Chambo.
So you guys are a fish.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's also a verb, the act of going Rambo and Chuck Norris on someone or something.
no way. That's amazing.
That's according to Urban Dictionary, so clearly it's the correct definition.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hope they hear that.
So
So going Chambo on somebody is the act of going Chuck Norris and Rambo at the same time.
And then someone else will put a definition of having a shocker on the golf course, tear around, inevitably losing your shit and walking in after 9 holes. So very comparable.
awesome. All right, so let's Shambo our way through this.
Let's
then.
Chambo our way through this. Yeah.
All right, so we look on the other side of the conference. If you scroll up here, Eagle, winning the Bish is in control of that division. But let's not forget those 6 and 6D. We're gonna have teams that will move up.
It's funny how
into the-
Rob let this name pass.
What's his name?
Winnie that bish.
No, Rob. He listens a lot.
Yeah.
Rob's not very well versed when it comes to nicknames.
It's a Joey Taylor system. Working.
Well, look, the thing is, they probably, and it's a good question here. If you had to pick right now, Terry, Suicide Squad 7-0-1 or Winning the Bish 7-0-1, who is your overall number one for the 6 playoffs?
Winnie that bish. 100%.
Eagle, do we have the degree of difficulty for the schedules for these teams?
I do, but I haven't refreshed it, but I can do that.
Shocker, Eagle. What were you doing on your phone right now, Eagle?
I'm getting
Were
an
you on
update from
Uber
Steve
Eats?
Hodhod from the disciplinary committee.
Were you on Uber Eats trying to order some
really?
candy?
Was that what?
We were on Uber Eats trying to order some candy.
Why would I do that for?
Are you finding out the suspension?
Yes, apparently they're still reviewing it, so we haven't had a verdict yet.
They're currently reviewing it?
Are they in the...
The report is coming in. They're aware of the situation, but they haven't gotten the details yet.
All right. Hopefully we can break it.
So over, under, what do you think?
Probably not.
What do you think? Over, under what?
I wanna
3.5 games.
I'm going to say it's under.
Probably end of season.
No, I'm going to say under.
There's
say
2 games left, right?
Plus playoffs.
Plus playoffs.
Yeah, but you can't say that, because there's only 2 games left, we'll give him 2 games. If you're originally going to give him 3 games, give him 3 games.
Well, plus playoffs.
Oh, plus playoffs. Okay.
Trinity's his
Okay,
team,
my bad.
right? So that might be a severe blow. Anyway, so here for 6, overall 1, you're going with Winning the Bish.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. Nothing against Suicide Squad. Like I said, they're a very formidable team, but just the offense that Winnie the Bish runs, and just their efficiency, their effectiveness, I want to say. They have a worse plus minus, I think. Yeah, so Suicide Squad has a better plus minus, but at the end of the day, plus minus doesn't mean anything. You could be playing on a hot streak, you could be playing a hot quarterback, or even you can be playing a really bad quarterback one week. They haven't all played the same teams, so plus minus to me doesn't really mean much. What I'm looking at the efficiency, the effectiveness, and Winnie that Bish for me, they're much more consistent than Suicide Squad is.
That's quite the cliches you use.
Not really.
Efficiency,
I mean, I use
effectiveness.
no efficiency is not a word that's been used. I don't think anybody can
I
spell
think
It
it.
has 3 syllables, so it's a
Yeah,
big
exactly.
word to carry.
Yeah, big words. You know?
Terry Town, big
I had to
words.
really dig into the
Actually, 4
backs against
syllables
the wall.
efficiency.
Backs against the wall. We had to really.
yeah.
work
You know,
away
to grip
from
our sticks tight.
Yeah,
Keep your sticks on the ice.
one play at a time.
Give 100%.
You know, we got a good locker room in there. Got
Yeah.
a good bunch of guys.
And we're focused.
Focused.
You
You
know,
know, we trust our goalie.
Playing a good team right now.
Yeah, playing a good
Hot
team.
team.
You know, you got to give him a lot of credit.
Who do you think is like that? Who do you think resembles what we're trying to describe? Is it
Hockey players.
Well, I'm saying from these teams, the list right here. Is there a team that would be like, yeah, we're like the humble, good old Canadian boys?
It's gotta be, I guess, primetime.
I think Primetime's got some good guys. Though,
I gotta be prime. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't mean that they're bad guys. I gotta say primetime. I think. Yeah, primetime.
It's not MacDo, your boys.
McDowell, good guys, man.
McDowell.
No, but don't you hate that guy from MacDo?
I don't hate any of them. I know one of them.
Hold on, is it number 4 in MacDo?
I don't know who number 4 is.
The guy, the picture you sent me of the guy from. Remember the picture from Monday?
Show me McDowell's roster.
No.
I don't know the guy's
Winnie
name.
the Bish actually is one of the easier schedules right
I don't
now.
know.
in
I don't know
Div
if he's on.
6.
Is he on that team? Is he on
Maybe.
McDowell?
So before we get to the MacDo, so Winnie the Bish has the easiest schedule. So in theory, would they be ranked as the number 1 seed overall?
Oh yeah, he is on.
They still would, yeah, because, well, yes. Yes, they would.
Julien Proulx.
Because there's other tie breaks along the way. So you really have to go low. But, yeah, so just to answer your question, Suicide Squad has the 3rd hardest schedule to date.
There you
Winnie
go.
the Bish has the 2nd easiest schedule to date.
Oh,
Would
there you
that,
go.
Would that not factor in to say, hey, Suicide Squad should be your overall number 1?
Yeah,
then?
I agree.
It
I agree.
does
My
if you-
opinion has changed. Sorry, McPhee. Sorry, Joey
It
Taylor.
does if you get to the 6th tiebreaker, as you can see on your
Well,
screen.
hold on here. How could that be the 6th tiebreaker, though?
Number of wins,
Point
head-to-head,
differential, point
divisional
differential.
record, points allowed, point differential, and then strength of schedule.
Oh, so point differential is where they would. No, they wouldn't get there.
Why,
It's not gonna
why
get there.
It would be
isn't
points
strength
allowed.
of schedule not higher up in the rankings?
Because this is the order.
No, bleep is the order.
answer ever.
Would you like me to put coin toss higher too while I'm at it?
Yeah, that should be number 1. I don't know why it isn't. Just make it
I'd
easy
put
for
coin toss
everybody.
1, strength of schedule number 2.
But
No,
you realize
what?
the
No,
coin
what?
toss, you can't tie a coin toss.
No, you can't push strength of schedule too high because they don't all play the same teams. I guess that's the point of
reality
strength of
is
schedule.
if you are at the point of, hey, looking at the body of work, well, hey, yeah,
know
you
what?
went through a lot of.
I hate to say this, Eagle, but Moe Khan
welcome.
kind of has a point here.
Yeah, strength of schedule should be a lot higher because the body of
It
work
should be higher than point differential.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It should be
yeah.
higher than points allowed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely, because you can't. They're not going with the same schedule of who they're playing for the teams, but
Yeah,
the
so
strength
and
of
you're
it.
putting number of wins first. It's very like cookie cutter. It's what everybody does.
Okay,
number
but
of
that's like
wins
saying
first.
playing Detroit. Granted, it's a bad example, but you play the Red Wings 4 games a
Okay,
year
relax.
or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you
Won those
lose.
4
Well,
games.
you win all of them, but your 8 points aren't worth as much as someone else who beat Tampa 4 times.
Exactly.
But that's not how the NHL works.
That's not how the NHL works. We're in
It
flag
goes by
football.
points first, then wins next, and then
That's the
divisional
NHL.
records.
But for
Yeah, but-
us, where you don't have the opportunity to play every team, so we just proved
Where does
why.
strength of schedule fall in any NFL tiebreak?
It falls a lot higher. It falls a lot when it comes to NFL.
So first
draft
thing is
picks.
it's number of wins.
When it comes to NFL
Yeah.
draft order, it's the first thing they look at is strength of schedule.
Oh, there you
versus
go.
Tiebreak.
There you go.
That
I
is
really think this is something you should look
Yeah,
at.
that-
Mo, this is exactly what's going to happen. You ready?
a crusade.
No, you ready? This is exactly what's going to happen. We've suggested it right now. It's an official suggestion.
3 new rules.
You are most likely
You
to
guys are
tell
idiots.
Rob about this.
2 clubs, head-to-head, best one-loss tied percentage in games played within the division, best one-loss tied percentage in common games,
Yes.
best one-loss tied percentage in games played within the conference, strength of victory, and then strength of schedule.
Yeah.
So it's still like 6th on the list after divisional
Yeah,
record
but
and
they
the other
have
stuff.
they have other things in there that are more that are heavier than the things that we have.
Yeah,
in
and
here.
when it comes to NFL draft, they rank strength of schedule
And
a lot higher.
You can't put number of wins and divisional record in a division like Division 6 because it comes out to the same fucking thing.
yeah.
Bring it up to the competition committee.
Yeah. So this is what's gonna happen, Mo. You ready? This
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
what
wait.
happens in flag football often. Okay. We've come up with an idea here. We've suggested it. You know, it's a good idea, Mo. Next time you see Rob, you're probably gonna talk about it because you like to regurgitate a lot of the same stuff often.
does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to do that also. So I'm gonna say it to Rob too. He's gonna be, hey, you know what? It's a good idea, Terry. You know,
And then
you know what? Hey, you know what? I see where you're going. It's a good idea. You know, and then Then shut it down. They're gonna shut it down. Eagles gonna be like, no, it's too hard. I have to go on the website, change everything. Peace is gonna make fun of everybody because he doesn't comprehend logic.
Yeah.
And then you and I are gonna be stuck there. And then 2 years later, guess what's gonna happen?
He's gonna
It's automatically gonna be changed, and then they're gonna act. All three of them are gonna act like they did it.
Guys, you know what? Peace, Eagle, great idea, guys. That's why I give you bonuses.
Yeah.
I don't get bonuses.
And then I have to
get
prove,
duns.
how many seasons I've worked in this freaking league.
You want to talk Div 6D, boys?
Yeah, 60 quickly before we wrap up hour number 1 here. Okay, so look, Trojans 8-0, Tropic Thunder 7-1. You look at what could have been at 9-0. It appears the
What could
Studs.
they have been?
Yeah, the
Not
Studs
much.
8-1. How many teams go from 60 to the 6 playoffs, Eagle?
All of them that are highlighted in green on the website.
No, but for the 6 playoffs though,
60.
60.
16.
16. Okay, so
Top 4 get promoted, and then the bottom most 4 of Division 6 get demoted. It's a whole system.
right. So, like, what could have been Studs, Trojans. I've seen Trojans play. I think they're probably the best of the bunch right now, going towards the 6 playoffs.
The who? The
Trojans.
Okay, I thought you said the Studs. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're saying that they're undefeated.
Well, I see them play. I think
They're a good team, yeah.
They're the best of the bunch right now, and they're like I said. I think the only game they had that was close enough to what they did this season was. I'm trying to remember I forget what game it was. Anyway, the point is that seeing what they've done so far this year, and I saw them play not too long ago. They have a really dynamic offense, and if they get a good ranking for the 6 playoffs, they might be a 2-round team. Maybe even get to the 3-round portion of this playoffs for March, April.
What do you mean 3-round team?
Like they may go 3 rounds deep.
Oh no, okay, they might go to
Yeah.
the finals. You can't just say that.
Well,
Mo has a way with words where he doesn't say them well.
Yeah, words. They're hard. They're
of
hard.
course,
You know what you should do? You should take courses to be on the radio.
of course.
He
I
did
will.
though. So did I. We took the same thing.
Oh,
Of
you
course.
did?
Yeah.
Why is he so much better than you then?
No worries.
No, he mumbles sometimes. That's all. I mumble a lot.
You could be a rapper.
You mumble
Perhaps.
rapper, yeah. You
Yeah.
should try. The
Exactly.
the first Indian mumble rapper.
No, there's
True.
There's some other ones out there.
Yeah, so I like Studs, man. The Studs, to me, man, it's like they have this this kind of arrogance about them, kind of thing. Like, you know, they're just gonna be able to do whatever they want to do. They're a really strong team. I'm a big fan. There's also my favorite teams in Division 6D are all out of the playoffs. I just realized. Buccaneers, favorite team.
Yeah, but they had a tough go though. I mean, they
89.9ers, second favorite team.
Yeah, but Buccaneers had a 2-game winning streak, and then it just kind of unraveled for them.
Technically, neither of them is eliminated officially.
Well, officially, but they're,
It's very
they're
likely.
outside looking in.
Because the Studs, their closest game was the Buccaneers game,
Yeah.
and which they won by 2 studs. And Buccaneers were given a 6-0 lead because the Studs were late, didn't have their flag belts, so the guys were trying to come from the side door of the bubble, and the bubble almost collapsed. And Omar was not happy about that. So, I mean, unfortunately, if you look at that game, maybe that would have kept their fortunes alive, and they would have been thick in the race of maybe being a 6, 7, or 8 seed. But that's not going to be the cards for them now. So I don't know where they're going to finish. Still a chance here, but I don't think they're going to get into the playoffs at this point in the season.
Oh, something just randomly happened here.
Oh, you went to YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's good. We're good. We're good.
We're actually
We're safe. We are safe.
we're
But yeah, I mean, it's tough for Division 6D because how does it work? The top 4 teams make it to go to jump to Division 6?
Yeah.
Do I think that Studs, what could have been, who's on the other side? Scroll up. There you go. Trojans, Tropic Thunder, let's say, can beat. Who would they be playing? Do they start at the 8 seed?
No, they start 5 to 8.
5 to 8. Okay. Can they beat? Who was first place in Division 6? I'm drawing a blank. We just Suicide Squad and
Suicide
Winnie That
Squad.
Bitch.
Yeah, Winnie the Bitch.
I think they lose, man. It's like if I see
Well, in the finals, perhaps. But basically, they'd be playing like Trailer Park Boys, Fridge Raiders, Space Apes, Trap Stars, more or less.
See, I would take Trailer Park Boys ahead of what could have been for sure. Nothing. I mean, just the way they play, just the way more dynamic. I think they have a much more dynamic style of play. But it's very different because at any point, these Division 16s, man, they just come out with these weird offenses, and then just all of a sudden it's 35-0 for the worst
formation.
team. Yeah, I formation. So
I
it's Division
formation
6D.
fleet
It's legit. So Division 6D for don't do what you think you want to do. You know what I mean? Just play football.
Developing bad ideas.
Yeah, developing
I
bad
would love to
ideas.
see an ultimate bracket, like all these teams qualify, make one big March Madness bracket.
You know, in this division, it would probably be in
More
Division 6
beneficial.
and 6D. It would be better to do your suggestion.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be more beneficial because I think in 6D you want to get them as many games as possible.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
reps, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'll never happen because the quality is what they want in this league. But in a division like 6D, you want to have the quantity prevail and have them get that extra game to say, like, you know, we played 11 games, we're good, we're gonna come back for spring.
How many
season.
teams? There's a total of 40 teams. They should do 32. And
Yeah.
then so they play their 11th game, or maybe their 10th game is the 32, but you can't do that. So you do 11th game is the 32 man bracket that you suggested,
Yeah,
and then the round of 16 is going to be the best of the rest.
yeah,
I like it. Mo, we're going to do it. It's
Yeah.
done. It's
All right,
official.
done.
This year, 2020 winter Division 6 6D, we're doing UEFA style.
Nope.
All right, what's done is hour one.
What do I got to do to pass a bill around here?
You got to get the Senate to vote for you, and I am the Senate.
And
so-
I'm never voting for you.
correct.
And there'll never be splits. So what's done is hour one. Hour
We're
two.
done already.
Yeah, fly by over here. All right, well, who's hour two?
Hour 2, we're gonna do Division 5 co-ed and women's.
So we're going to have Tara, Mrakic.
Mrakic is gonna be on, and we'll cover that stuff, and then we'll finish 1, 2, 4, and El Shawnee Boy to wrap
Hall of
up.
Famer.
Yeah, 11th best quarterback in Division 2.
Yes, out of 10.
5 co-ed and women's coming up in hour 2. Stay tuned.
Put the place up, yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Blink of an eye, ego, I'm a taker, shaker. Yeah, she was a ball shaker, she shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Sounding like a rose when we came out there, we settled facts like Da Vinci. I'm breaking codes, so breaking backs. Come on, get your ass up if you're slipping. Get another smile like it was the last Christmas. Hey. Put the place up. Put the place up, yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Blink of an eye, ego, I'm a taker, shaker. Yeah, she was a ball shaker, she shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Sounding like a rose when we came out there, we settled facts like Da Vinci. I'm breaking codes, so breaking backs.
Okay, hour number 2. Here with us, Terry Tam, Moe Khan, along with The Eagle. As the ship is flowing in the right direction now, as it was going in the wrong direction last Thursday.
Oh, man, I just scratched my eyes, and I look blazed.
There's no.
I'm not, I promise.
There's no
After.
way.
I will be after.
I'm sure you will.
It's legal. Purchased legally.
Yeah, it is. It is. I got my mom's CBD oil actually. So,
Yeah, it's good for you, man.
yeah.
Helps you sleep.
Yeah.
I like my olive oil.
You just Eagle just drinks olive oil before he goes to bed.
Do you really?
No, although I've done it, it's not. I mean, there's olive oil tasting you can go for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's
yeah.
good for you though, man? Olive oil.
Yeah, not to drink
chug
it. Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Well, avocado oil is the best of the bunch.
To drink?
No. Well, to cook in.
Why would you want to cook with avocado oil?
It
Avocado
burns
is
well.
it's very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it has like a really low point of burning.
A
So
burning.
you-
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
starts.
It
It
burns
starts like,
instantly.
going. Yeah. Right away.
At least olive oil has a little bit of like flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Avocados. You make your eggs with it. Cook it slow.
Yeah.
Over easy.
Yeah,
Coconut
it's
oil.
the best.
It's good too.
Coconut oil is
Very good.
best.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the summer when it gets humid, it turns to liquid. It's perfect.
Does it really? I'll try that this summer.
Do you like coconuts, Mo?
No,
I don't
not a
actually
big
like
fan.
coconuts, but
I'm not a big fan of
coconut oil, I'm a fan of.
Not a big fan of
But like the
coconuts.
shavings or like doing drinking one?
No, nothing. I hate coconut. It's too sweet for me, and eating the coconut.
I don't
if
even
I
like,
give you
I don't like the
lime?
taste of coconut. The
No.
actual taste of coconut. I find it, even the water, it leaves like a weird taste in the back of my mouth.
Yeah, not a big fan of it.
Milky.
I was gonna say something else, but yeah.
I'm sure you would. All right, so it's hour number 2, women's division. We'll have Tara Mrakic on with us.
Mrakic. She corrected me.
Mrakic on with us, and we'll talk to her. It was so good we brought it back 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, that's why.
You know, well, you know what? This replay last week. We'll give ourselves a 20-minute break.
But you realize I can't replay last week because you didn't record it.
I did record it.
The sound's not good.
Oh, the sound. Okay.
I know. We'll ask the exact same questions for Tara Mrakic.
And let's get the exact same answers. And if she's off by a word, we cut the interview.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Team Texas in sole possession of first place at 6-1. A win, and they will be your 1 seed in the playoffs. Further this, unfortunately, losing to District this past week, and they're 5-2. So in the Duns dinner race right now, Eagle looking like he's in the pole position to get himself a paid dinner from
Woo! Peas.
who has what team again?
The Hunter girls.
The Hunter Girls. Yeah. So
Good pick. Good
well,
pick.
look, Eagle, Peace, and I randomly picked the 3 teams.
No, I didn't randomly pick. I picked a team that aligns with my company, who is based out of Texas, and always go with companies.
Always go with whoever pays
Corporations
you.
first. Capitalism at its finest.
I would have picked whichever
Sorry,
team.
I didn't realize you were not into handouts, but
Says the guy who picked the best team on paper.
hey, it's all about power, man.
Who did you take?
And you still lost.
Whoa, it's
You're
still
the
7 games
You're
in.
the Bloomberg of the women's division.
Who did you take?
Listen,
You took District?
I took Fleur-de-Lis on my roster.
there you go.
So. Because, look, Fleur-de-Lis
I would have
is-
taken whatever team Constance Milagas on. I think she's probably the best all-around player in the league.
Well, I think Vanessa Beer is the best player in this.
Oh, Vanessa Berry's a very good player.
That's
So that's the team he picked.
because that team,
Oh, there you go.
that team has success playing touch football, though.
Bloomberg effect.
Please, you are the Bloomberg effect over here.
You are Bloomberg.
Okay.
I don't
It's a
know
little
what that
weird.
means. Yeah.
You know, I remember years ago, GM and I did it at the old Sheen Studios, and I used to do like, "Hey, please welcome the so and so the show, John Smith." So I go, "Let's welcome in the Rick Santorum of the show."
Oh, yeah. He did not like that at
He
all.
looked at me. He's like, "What the bleep was that all about?" I go, "You look like Rick Santorum, man."
He does.
You
does.
know, he took
It's
it
not a bad
so-
thing.
No, he took it
Just because you look like somebody,
Anyway,
you know,
okay, so
you can look like Ted Bundy doesn't mean you're hacking people's heads off.
Oh.
I know. Have you seen any of the women's games? I believe you're at Hebert on Papineau on Monday, right?
No, I'm not there. I haven't.
Were you there this past Monday though?
No, I wasn't.
Saint Laurent. Okay.
I've only caught whatever games of the week we have, but I have been randomly glancing just to see what's going on because
Yeah,
I'm very
first,
curious.
first game of the week, actually, for the women's division.
Yeah, it
right?
was awesome. Yeah, and I like what they did. They showed every play because usually what we do in the game of the week is that we'll make it kind of like a highlight video where this is actually like the full game with some music in the back with some nice editing.
Well, I
too.
think
well done by Chris.
the
Rivera.
way it's been through 7 weeks. I think it's great that there's no one that's running away with this division.
Yeah.
Because if it was if Team Texas was 7-0 and they scored 4 million points to like 10 points given up, we're gonna say, my God, it's gonna be a Texas rundown.
Well,
here.
we kind of assumed that Sarah Parker was going to be running away with this division, right? Because she's done it in this league for a long time in
And
co-ed.
very good player in co-ed.
Very good player in co-ed. Yeah, like
So-
one of the. I think she's up for quarterback of the year every year.
See, with Sarah Parker and Vanessa Beery, would they dominate a Division 5 or even a 4B or 5A?
I think so. Sarah Parker for sure. I haven't really seen Vanessa Berry play. I know she's a good player. I look at her stats. I've been paying attention. But Sarah Parker, for me, if she goes in Division 4 with a decent receiving core, she can do well. Like if you can give her Pineapple Express's roster in Division 4, I think they can go at least 8-2.
You think so?
Nothing against Chris Olsen. I'm saying Division 4, not 3. But
So, wow.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Wow. What do you think about that, Eagle?
Well,
Did you hear what I said?
I mean, granted, if you take a look at the game of the week performance, I would say that's probably one of her worst games, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing that we haven't. I mean, it's something that we haven't seen her play that poorly.
Well,
But then this week, I mean, 45-0 against the Rookies, who got their first touchdown not this week but last week.
Yeah.
That's actually our background picture on our display here. Them celebrating their first.
Oh, it
touchdown,
is?
which
That's cool.
Wonderful.
I love it. I love it.
I hope they stick with this league. I think they can grow. It just takes time to really find your flow in a league like this. So hopefully for them, they will build upon that touchdown. But right now, we'll ask Tara about who she thinks will be the quarterback of the year, because we'll have the year-end awards coming up momentarily here.
Tara has some very important things to tell us too. She said.
Does she really?
Yeah, she has something specifically she wants to talk about.
Did she tell us what that topic is?
She kind of hinted at it, so she'll talk about it.
She's joining us when, Eagle?
5 minutes.
5 minutes
Five
from now.
minutes.
Fair enough then. I'm looking forward to the women's playoffs, though. I really think it's going to be an unveiling for everyone to see, because unfortunately, given the situation that they play their games at Papineau on Monday nights, I don't get to see them play.
And all teams make playoffs, so you get it is kind of like the traditional NFL conference. So 1 and 2 get buys, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. There's still 1 week left in their season, but I mean, there's really not a lot of jostling. Effectively, Fleur de Lis and District are trying to get the bye. Team Texas is trying to hold on to the bye, which they will, unless it's like a weird.
No, they're gonna win out. No, they'll have the bye, because Team Texas did beat Fleur de Lis and District as well.
I'm just gonna peek. Can there actually be a 3-way tie? Conceptually, let me just look.
Well,
at it.
in that
So,
case, would
District is playing the Rookies. Spartiate is playing Fleur de Lis, and 100 Girls is playing Team Texas. So technically, Team Texas can lose, and District and Fleur de Lis both win, and you get 3 teams tied at 6 and 2.
And it
It's
would be
technically
Fleur de Lis.
possible.
Fleur de Lis would be first, realistically, unless Team Texas. But Team Texas would lose at that point. So I think Fleur de Lis. I think you're right, Hugo. I think Fleur de Lis is going to finish first.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think they will.
It's
I think it'll be
only
too
only
soon.
if Team Texas loses.
Yeah.
Which I don't
Right.
think they will.
If Fleur
To
de
100
Lis or
Girls, you don't see it
District
happening?
win,
No, I don't think so.
You don't see? Do you see Team Texas losing to Hunter Girls?
I
I mean,
think
obviously
so.
you wouldn't say
No,
so, but
no,
yeah.
I
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I
It's
think
tough.
Texas will be your one, and the way it's laid out right now on your screen, that's how it's going to be for the playoffs.
that being said, if District win, which they probably will because they're playing Rookies, and Texas lose, again, possibility, they're 1-1 in their matchups this year because District beat Team Texas 33-19 in week 3, and the game of the week, Team Texas beat District 19-12. So then this goes down to like deeper tie breaks and the whole thing. So you never know. Could happen.
You do never know. It
But
could
likely Team Texas hold on to number 1. And then Fleur de Lis District beat them week 9, 27-25. And then Fleur de Lis beat them 34-14 in week 4. So again, we'd have to go down to points against. Likely Fleur de Lis hold on to number 2.
I'll ask
I say
Tara.
likely, so probably not a lot of movement here.
I'll ask Tara this question. We'll ask you guys beforehand. Yes, NFL format, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, top 2 get a bye. Why don't we have the bye teams play each other to see who gets the higher seed?
Why?
To give them another game.
Why?
Because in theory, yeah, you get 8 games. That means they have a bye week. Great, you're off for that week. But why not give them a game to see who will have a higher seed?
I mean,
The whole point of the bye is to not play a game.
No, but
I
they don't
understand
get
that.
eliminated.
They
I
don't get
know.
eliminated, but you just want to give them another game to keep them in the flow. Because
Why?
I'm just entertaining the idea. I don't know.
I'm still an idea out there. That's all.
Why?
Just an idea.
We do it for Div 1 or Div A in spring, right?
Why?
When did we do that?
Well, we had the 5-team division, right? Where
When?
1 versus 2 winner goes automatically to the finals, and 2 plays is the winner of 3 versus 4.
Oh, we did do that last year.
Exactly. I'm saying that for this.
I benefited from that. How didn't I know that?
Yeah, exactly. At the end, you didn't benefit though. Anyway, that's an idea. Just wanted to throw out
So
there.
you're saying the Ravens and the Chiefs should have played each other for the 1 and 2 seed in the AFC.
But it's different though.
Why?
You're talking about.
What's the difference?
Well, hold on, Eagle. You're talking about a crash of bodies. This is flag football.
There's crashing bodies.
With 300-pound linemen going 4 or 5 speed.
I mean,
Maybe.
you never know.
Is Isaiah?
I never
Simmons
asked you how
coming
much you
down-
weighed, so
Show me a 300-pound lineman that's running a 4.5.
Well, the old lineman ran what? 4.9, 4.8.
That's not 4.5 though.
Well, it's for a man that's 365
Yeah,
pounds.
it's
running
impressive.
4.8. That's
He was
pretty
like
impressive.
6'7", the guy too. He's a
Yeah,
beast.
he's like us 3, and we're like his bicep.
I can run a 4.9.
Now we're back in your peak.
I back my peak. I did run a 4.9 actually.
Electric or
Hand.
hand?
It's probably like 5'1" realistically.
Yeah, that's all right. Tara,
Defensive tackle on the juice. What are you gonna do?
hey man,
pulled a hammy doing it too.
Did you really?
Yeah,
It's,
at the
it's
end.
the classic. Oh, I think he pulled up.
No, because
Yeah.
you run 45 yards, right? You don't run 40. So I ran to the 45, and it was like the last. I'm like, it wasn't that bad.
Hello.
Hello, Tara.
Hola, Tara. Now everybody can hear you because I'm not behind the controls today.
Thank God.
I know.
You know what, Tara? I was hoping for like, you know what, Tara, you got this. You know, I thought we had a good relationship.
No,
and
you
I.
don't get any motivational
But
speech.
clear-
You fucked up, and I had to clean up your mess. Hi, Tara.
Did you really think that I was gonna like praise you, Terry? Really?
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
No.
Terry,
You
Why?
know
not?
our
I thought.
relationship-
Yeah.
Terry,
You know what?
Tara
do
and I
know it's
spoke
true.
about you for the first 10 minutes in Lachine Sunday. Like
About
what
my
the-
hair?
No, like what the bleep? Like how? Like I go, Tara. I don't know what happened.
It's not my fault. It's really not my fault.
Didn't know what
Eagle has these settings set so specifically that nobody can figure it out except for him. Name me another producer that's coming here that's done a good job.
They can,
Exactly. So how am I the wrong one?
because I'm amazing and you aren't.
I never said you weren't amazing, Eagle. You are by far the oil in our engine.
How are you, Tara?
How are you, Tara?
I am well, guys. Thanks.
So
Thanks
Tara,
for having me on again.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. We've never done this before.
First time ever.
First time ever. So Tara, poll question for you: does FPF run smoothly without Eagle?
No.
Okay, that's
Good answer.
It's very good. Okay, so
No.
Tara, unfortunately, last week has become irrelevant of what we're discussing this week.
You can hear her very slightly.
Yeah,
To my defense, very slightly.
I know. Tara, your thoughts as we now go into the final turn of games for the women's division on Monday night, as we do have a pretty tight race for 1, 2, and 3, but it feels like Team Texas will be your overall number one for the playoffs.
Yeah, unless they lose a game, I think they're going to take it. But then the playoffs, I still think that Fleur de Lis is going to win.
Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot, Tara. All right, have a great week. That's all we need for
Listen,
it.
they've
I
been
can't
playing
disagree.
together for over 20 years.
20
Their
years.
chemistry is undeniable. And the other two teams, however great, they're still young. And, you know, pressure can get to them. So Fleur de Lis is always cool, regardless of the odds.
That's a good point. I mean, and especially in flag football, chemistry trumps anything. If you look at
It does.
the most successful teams, it's always guys that just have a very good system. Always. It's always going to be like that. It always will be like that. You have to be extremely efficient. We're going to use the word again, Mo.
Efficient.
And I think Fleur de Lis is probably the most in this division, from what I've seen anyway. I haven't seen too much. Tara,
No.
you said you wanted to talk about something specifically.
Yeah,
So,
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, can you explain to us?
So, you know, when I started in FPF, it was definitely a very male-dominated segment industry. And, you know, I've been around reffing for many, many years, some years longer than most of you have been alive. But regardless, always been that woman who's been around. And, you know, when I came to FPF, it was quite similar. There was one other girl at the time, Tracy, who was reffing. But now, as the years have gone on, I've been in the league about 7 years now, and you can see that things are starting to change. The tide has shifted. If I can say, I've brought in 3 recruits, all from Vanier, all women, all doing well. Mathilde, Zoe, and Lemise just recently. So it's exciting to see what the new generation is going to be. We have the women's division now involved. I think there's going to be a lot more exposure around women in football and how talented we are. And at the same time, I think it's going to be great for the future.
Maybe I'll ask a question for future growth here. What can we do better to encourage more women to start playing flag football, and especially
Or
FPF or referee?
There has to be more, I would say, promotion around it. You know, it's just starting out, so I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but word of mouth goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know, the FPF has been, to my, you know, Rob does a good job of making it as bilingual as possible, but there's a huge market in the French community. Vive pas, that's what it is. So if you can go and, you know, plug those schools and talk about FPF, then you're going to see the division and the interest grow a lot quicker.
I think that in anything, you have to be inclusive. As soon as you're not, it's you alienate one person specifically, then other people are going to lose taste also. So as soon as you're inclusive to everybody, you open it up. Like you said, Tyra, you got to go to the schools, you got to promote it, you got to make them, you got to show them that have a good time. Where we want, we want as many as we can, as many girls teams as we can, as many co-eds, as many men as whatever you want. We want them all. And to your point, it's that we need to do a better job, I think, at putting ourselves out there. And there's so many women. I know so many girls that played flag football in high school, and I had no idea up until the women's league started in FPF. You know what I mean? I've been playing flag since 2005. You know what I mean? So just to say, it's like, for me to hear about it now is shocking.
It is shocking because I've been playing football since I was 19, and that was long ago. And
it was like 5 years ago, no? It was like 5 years
ago. Yeah.
26.
10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Okay.
But, Ontario is huge. Ontario, it's unbelievable, the money and the promotion and all the things that go on that promote women's football and how many teams there are. And I'm not just talking bad teams, like huge talent. You're playing great athletes. And then the U.S. is unbelievable. When I refed a flag tournament in the U.S., wow, I was blown away.
How'd you guys do?
Incredible. Oh, I didn't. I refed.
Okay.
I was just blown away by the talent and how strong these women were. It was really something to see.
Yeah.
So, Tara, I know I asked you last week, but I'll ask you this week. Do you think there's a bit of intimidation from the higher division teams to say, hey, let's sign a Sarah Parker or a Vanessa Beery or someone that's very excellent at their position to come play for a higher division team?
Repeat the question, sorry?
Is there intimidation from a team saying Division 4 or 5 to sign up Vanessa Beery or Sarah Parker to their roster?
I don't think so. I think that these girls have proven their worth. And at this point, their numbers are inexplicable. Vanessa has how many trophies, how many national trophies with her team, the same team, whether she's been at her best or sometimes at her worst, they pull through. So to me, Sarah Parker is the next generation of Vanessa Beery. And, we can't count out Sandrine Gabay-Huet. Mm-hmm. I think that she's also going to be one of those players who, if she continues on, is going to do really, really well.
Is Sandrine your quarterback of the year in your mind? Because it's a pretty close race with those three names.
It is. It is a close race, and I think that we'll have to see how the last couple of games play out, simply because I think the level is going to increase depending who's playing who.
The thing is that Vanessa Beery has no interceptions, and that's huge. And her completion rating, I think it's over 70%. But I think right now, and she has a game in hand over the other two girls. Right now, I'd pick Sarah Parker with the 28 touchdowns to be quarterback of the year. But she's just so good. And we see her play in co-ed, and she's awesome. And we were saying before, on the segment before, Tara, that I would take Sarah Parker with, I mentioned Pineapple Express as a Division 3 team, put them in 4A or 4B, and I think they'll do just as well and be in the playoffs, for sure. No doubt.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
She's got a rocket of an arm.
She's cool as a cucumber, and I remember a couple of years ago coaching at Vanier, and everyone was talking about this girl, Sarah Parker. Mm-hmm. And the first time I saw her was actually in FPF reffing a co-ed game. And I was like, okay, now I understand what everybody's talking about. And I'm like, I need to find a girl like Sarah Parker. Where am I going to find a girl like Sarah Parker? Where'd she come from? Yeah. Like, she was, not talked about, and then all of a sudden she just blew up, and it's amazing. But yeah, they're diamond in the rough, few and far between quarterbacks. Like, I haven't had a quarterback like that since 2015, to be honest.
You mentioned before Ontario that has money, and now we're talking about schools in Quebec, and we know that the private sector spends a lot more money than the public sector. And is it going to be hard for these schools to for the government to pump more money, the school board, to pump more money into something that right now has a little bit of traction? Because it's, from what I know, from what I've experienced, is that it's hard to get money out of them.
It is. It's even hard to get money at the college level.
Yeah.
Like, I coach at Vanier, and I consider us to be very fortunate in what we get. And as the coaches in terms of gear, in terms of support, in terms of training and facilities, so on and so forth. And then there's schools that I deem to have, private schools and such that have a lot less than we do. So I don't necessarily think that it's going to happen until there's a progression, which is into the university level. Before that happens, I don't think that they're going to pump more money into flag. And it's unfortunate because people would continue on into university, and they've been fighting that fight for a while to get flag football in the universities.
We had a discussion on Sunday, you and I, with I forget who it was that was there, and I said to myself, like, why the bleep is there no flag football league? Because you have 4 power conferences: AUS, RSEQ, OUA, and CanWest. There's enough playing schools out there. Why can't someone say, hey, let's have ourselves a flag football league for women's at the university level?
Well, the one thing that makes life complicated, very honestly, is Quebec. Laws and this and that makes things very complicated. So why U Sports is not involved or why the other regions are not involved, I don't know all the logistics. I haven't, done a deep dive in to find out. But from what I hear from people who have been around and who've, gone to other tournaments and such, it's just really, really difficult. And they're not for lack of trying, but there's still a struggle.
Tara, I'm going to give you a very different twist on the set of questions over here. Obviously, you've been refereeing in Flag Plus for quite a long time. What's your favorite penalty to call?
Oh. Don't say whatever the penalty is on Terry time. Don't say it. Because I know you're thinking it.
My favorite penalty?
Yeah. You see the guy do it, and you're like, oh, I got you, motherfucker.
You are OC Ted Blaze. You're off.
No, that penalty sucks because it could change the course of the game, especially if it's, let's say, your best player, whatever the case may be. I don't like that penalty. But the one that we get the biggest reaction out of is flag guarding.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh come on! I wasn't flag guarding. My arm was just going down there.
Or the no call, right? The no call where the guy might have flag guarded and the ref didn't see it or didn't call it or whatever it is. Yeah.
And that's all a matter of angles as well. If you're in the right spot, you're going to see it. Some guys or girls are so good and so subtle that you're going to miss it. It happens.
I'm going to expose one player in this league, and I forgot who I was talking about it with this week. Actually, is Jason Rossi. Jason Rossi flag guards every single play. Every single play. If the rusher gets close to him, he kind of like puts the ball down and kind of drops his shoulder. It's a flag guard. 100% it's a flag guard, and he rarely gets called for.
Well, I don't know if you know, Tara, Jeremy White. He plays for ECW.
Yeah.
I believe. He does that like skiers, like he gets low to the
Mario
ground.
Cooper does it also.
Yeah. Like some people are like, how the hell
Serge
did you get
Pino
away
does
with
it
it?
too.
Because you're lowering your body. That means you're lowering your elbows, which kind of prevents anyone to get the flag.
Yeah.
So is that illegal or illegal to do
From what I
he
understand,
does?
you're allowed.
It's tough. It's tough. And that's what I'm saying by the intricacies of flag guarding. Some guys are so flexible and so, have a way in which they can get away with it. And Jeremy White's one of those guys. And Jason Rossi is, it's subtle. It's subtle.
Holy bleep. I just looked at the OCUR list. Alex Eagle Dackler has 2
Nope,
OCs.
I only have one. The other one's a test game.
So, but you still have one.
I have one.
I have one also.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I deserved it.
I have one also for yelling at my own player.
Nice.
That's true.
But encouraging him.
Well done.
Yeah, encouraging him. Not even like a bad thing.
Well, Tara, just to let you know, the OCs have gone down very low, actually. Not as much as I thought they would have been. So that's a good thing for those who want to avoid 10 plays.
Has the penalties gotten lower, or are the refs just not calling it?
That's true. We'll find out. Tara, you going to join us next week? 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 3 weeks in a row. Tara, you're on next week.
Excellent.
All right, Tara.
Thank
you so
you,
much.
Tara.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
So Tara will join
Bye.
us.
All right.
She'll join us
Bye-bye.
next week. 3 weeks in a row. Book
She
it
will
in.
not.
She will.
She will not.
No?
Eagle.
Although she's wonderful.
She's awesome. I love
She's great.
Tara. Yeah.
Captain No Fun over your Eagle. No, can't have that happen.
It took Tara.
I run a tight ship.
It took Tara a couple of seasons to get into the groove of the kind of the rules because she was used to touch and things like that. But now she's pretty good and she explains herself well and she doesn't take a lot of shit from from guys like me who like to yell, and it's no, it's good. It's refreshing. She's also a super sweetheart.
Oh, it's a long list of guys with OCs, man. I'm looking at this.
Crazy.
Jason Noel, Rich Humes with one. Oh my, Rich Humes.
Richie boy, huh?
Look at that.
I think he got it last game because they got into a little tussle.
Anyone who plays
Ryan
in co-ed got an OC,
Ryan
or you are?
Castillo.
Yeah, Daniel Spina with one. Julien Prou with one. Look at that, man. This is a who's who.
Shocking, Julien Prou.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so
Shocking.
Co-ed.
co-ed, yes.
Co-ed 2 didn't have games this week, so there's only 4 games to take a look at in Co-ed 1. Anything caught your eye? Did you happen to scorekeep any of these games?
I did not. Co-ed is usually on the weekends on Saturdays in Brossard.
That is correct. It was on Saturday, 2 games in Lachine and 2 games in Brossard.
Unfortunately, and not to install co-ed, but I was not there to scorekeep, so I cannot drag my way through this.
Unfortunately,
how would
I
that
wasn't
insult
able.
them if you're not there?
Well, because
It's actually insulting to try and break them down if you didn't watch
Yeah,
the game.
if you weren't there, why even bother? Like, I'd rather be open and say, look, I wasn't there, so I can't break
Okay,
down the
any surprises in the results of these games?
Let's check them out. Read them off to us, Eagle.
So Party Mix beat Sriracha Hot Chili Sauce 52-40.
I think I'm surprised by the close scoreline.
Midtown beat Third Down for what? 32-18.
Can you open that score sheet?
This one here?
Yeah, it's Midtown and third down for what, actually? Because I'm a little shocked at that, I think. Because third down for what? I mean, it's we were talking about it, Sarah Parker. JC Fanev dropping dimes, huh?
Moe Khan has done pretty well for himself. As
Yeah, I'm more surprised that this is. I think this one is the most surprising one out of the 4 games that we
She
saw
had
there.
40 passing attempts. That's a lot.
Well, she got the ball back twice for 2 picks, so it could include some penalties here and there. But either way, I think that third down for what, losing to Midtown is the more shocking one. Alexis Gaumont, Kevin Lubin, Jeremy Murphy, Alex David, Sarah Parker throwing.
And don't forget Josh Murphy as well, good player.
And Josh Murphy, I don't know him, so I can't tell you.
Brother Jeremy Murphy.
I figured.
They look alike.
I figured.
It is crazy.
Long hair?
Long hair.
Long hair, don't care?
Yeah.
That's the shocking one to me. I mean, I'm a big fan. We talked about Sarah Parker before with Tara, but obviously we're big fans of her, and she's great. But just looking at that roster, they've been together for a while too. Where this Midtown team, there's a lot of new guys that like Raf Casey's in there. I mean, I didn't see him last year. Yeah. So that's the shocking one. But JC Fanev, man, doing the damn thing in co-ed.
Well, that's it. I mean, he's been known as a primary receiver for the Finest a couple years ago. And
now he's a third receiver for the Flagmont Sac.
Yeah, and look, it's a good team that they have there, but that's a big win for them. And looking at the playoff breakdown of.
Yeah, so all 8 teams make it. Now, again, there's 1 week left. There's probably going to be some jostling in the middle, but again, more or less the same. So 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5, and then that continues onwards. So reasonably straightforward to get your way to the finals.
Yeah.
Any major shifts you can see here potentially with one game left?
In the sandwich, the hamburger of the standings with
Power
4
Rangers.
5 in particular, and Power Rangers included. I think that might be a shift of who will finish 3, 4, and 5. But Power Rangers do have a pretty sound squad.
Yeah, so to break down the Week 10 games that are coming up, so Sriracha Hot Chili Sauce is playing 3 Hunas, so 7 and 8 may switch potentially. You have Michael Scotch Tots playing third down
Eagle.
for what?
If 300s win over Sriracha, who gets the higher seed because of the point differential or is it head-to-head?
It would be head-to-head goes first.
That's what I
That
thought.
being said, Sriracha Chili Sauce beat them 39-0 in Week 2, so it would tie them at 1-1 in the head-to-head.
So
In which
they have
case
to
it
win
would
by
go
40.
to divisional record, which would be the same, obviously, and then we'll go to points against as the next tiebreak.
But hold on.
wow.
Part of my ignorance here, but if a team plays another team twice and they split the season series, shouldn't it be point differential in the head-to-head game?
No. Although I agree with you, but no.
I don't know if I agree with
Because
that
that's
because
applied
we don't isolate any other 2 games. Why would we isolate those 2
I think the
games?
main thing is not everyone actually has a matchup, and so to skip that criteria or
Exactly.
only add it for that one specifically is a little bit like too specific on that one game.
But that's the thing, though, right? That's,
I understand what you're saying, though.
right, because it's applied in Sage
it's
University for football and basketball.
I understood the sentence.
Where it's like, okay, well, look, if you lose by 20, you got to win by 21 plus. So I just think that maybe.
Yeah, there's no aggregate score in FPF.
No,
It's a shame.
unfortunately.
So that's who's playing. So Sriracha Hot Sauce playing 300s. Michael Scotch Tots is playing third down for what?
Say it again.
So again, Michael Scotch 5 and 6. So Michael Scotch
just wanted you
Tots
to say
can't
Michael
go
Scotch
up
again.
anymore. Third down for what potentially could with a win. Speed Academy is playing Party Mix. That could be a win either way. And then Power Rangers and Midtown play. So Power Rangers could potentially tie them and get to the top of the conference. They have also played in week 2. Midtown won 27-25. So they would have to win to tie the series and then go to PA.
Sure.
Wow. Yeah, I just lost track.
That was
there.
Eagles'
Yeah.
breakdown of co-ed.
Yeah, that's quite remarkable, Eagle.
In other words, you can potentially move a little bit at the bottom, you can move a little bit in the middle, and you can move a little bit on top. It does basically
you
nothing
basically
set.
Broken down
said
in three
nothing.
Groups. 3 groups.
Yeah,
of
there's a lot of movement. That's still possible.
There's a lot of movements possible. Win your game, and you'll get a higher seed.
Well, it's
Yep.
it's separation
Anxiety?
Saturday.
Separation anxiety.
Yeah, separation Saturday.
Like when
this
Eagle
weekend.
gets separated from sugar, he gets separation anxiety.
No, that's depression.
I'm curious if we put like a box of donuts for Eagle.
I will
for
finish
the,
it. I've done
Yeah,
it before.
No, no,
I'll do it
but
again.
for the road show.
I will finish it.
We don't want him
but-
because he's gonna crash. You don't
I
crash.
love crashing. My favorite
But
activity.
let's say because
It happens around 11:30 on the drive to Duns, and I'm just like, and then I get a cherry coke, and then I'm good.
so
Cherry Coke.
So the first game's on is on a Saturday at 2
2
o'clock, right?
Jesus.
It's
and
like-
and all the Red Bulls that you drink there,
Yeah.
the monsters.
The monsters plus the baked goods from
Yeah, some guys bring
Kevin
Krispy Kreme.
Kusai.
Some guys bring
And the bag
Krispy
of
Kreme.
candy and the snacks.
Yeah, I don't know how you. How,
And
how haven't you
oh,
died?
and the burrito.
And
Yeah,
the burrito.
That's paid by Rob Campana. by the
How
way.
haven't you died?
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
I'm
man.
amazing. I'm a freak.
You know what? Doctors need to like just experiment on
You're
your
a
body.
scientific experiment for years to come. All right,
thanks, man.
Div 5. As we go into Div 5 here in hour number 2. We'll go with 5A, Eagle. We'll get that lined up here for
Yes, sir.
for Terry, Tam, and I for Div 5. All right, so Div 5, the games that I saw, and I think I did see a couple of games, trying to remember my schedule from this past week for Div 5.
I score kept a few games as well as played in one of them.
Well, I know you played Div 5A.
Yeah.
The games that I saw this week, which I actually did not see, I beg your pardon. So no games I saw. What games did you see this week, Terry?
I saw Tip Top Shape versus what are they called? Ice Up. That was my team.
Wow. Great insight.
It was one game that we saw.
Tell us about it.
please.
You want
How
to
much
know
did
about
you
the game
suck?
for real?
Yeah.
I was busting balls. It was a super tight game, man. There was, I wouldn't say there was no reason why we should have won, but we played tight, and there was a lot of give the ball to DeMario. DeMario Cooper is probably right now him, Hugo Alemano, the guy I was telling you about yesterday. I forgot his name. Probably the best, something Lefebvre. He plays in Division 5. Probably the best kept secrets in FPF. DeMario Cooper is a legit player.
How the hell did Max bring you through for 232 and lose to you guys by 4?
'Cause
3 INTs, boy.
We picked him off twice in the red zone, and we basically we scored too quick sometimes, and we were very opportunistic, I would say. David Andrade played one of his best games, I think we'd say, all year. He relied on me and DeMario just to create some space. DeMario used his feet on defense. DeMario was the rusher, just to get in Max's face, but for the most part, our defense shut it down. Like, we didn't really let them do too much until in the second half. The second half is where we really shut them down.
So in the case that it is right now, Ice Up losing. They're 4-4. They have 2 games left. I think they should get in.
Yeah.
But do you think they hurt their playoff standings because had they beaten you guys, they would
it
have
was
been
a big
5-3?
win.
And
Yeah,
in a
it was
race for
it was a
5.
big win for Tip Top Shape because we needed that win to stay relevant. And with that win, now we're in there. Now we're in the green. Before
Well, you
we
control
were
your
in the
playoff.
red. Yeah, we control our
now
playoff destiny. We gotta
because
win the next 2 games.
Bud Knights have played one more game than you guys,
Yeah.
and they're now on the dire straits of
Yeah.
hell. Whereas Big Baller Brand and Voodoo,
I think we play Bud Knights.
Did you guys play?
I think we're playing them.
Are you playing them this week?
I think we play them this week or next week because we only have we have 2 games left.
Yeah. So Tip Top Shape. Next 2 games left will be, as I go down to yours, Bud Knights this week, Monday nights at a bear, and then you guys have Mud Dogs. So
Those are 2 teams that are fighting for playoffs to stay relevant in the playoffs. So that's big for us. But Bud Knights, I'm not too worried about them actually. You know what I mean?
But Knights, as Simone say, best defense as he would go with. I think they're in serious trouble right now.
Yeah.
But for Tip Top Shape, though, I mean, if you guys were to win the last 2 games left, you could jump to number 5.
I hope we do jump to number 5 because I do not want to play balls deep again or MTL out again. Absolutely not.
What about PMS?
I would rather play PMS than play Balls Deep or MTL Loud.
Well, MTL Loud's good.
MT Loud, technically.
Yeah, they're a good.
Oh no,
team.
they messed us up hard. Yeah, it wasn't fun to play.
I
Them.
score kept the game early in the
They have
season.
they have that one guy with the dreads there. What's his name with the braids?
Whedon's Alexander, is that his name?
Say it again.
Whedon's, is that his name?
Widens?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That guy. He is so nasty, man. He is such a good player.
He's a Grasset kid, I think. So he might.
He is. They're all Gasset kids. They all are.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're a good team. They can rocket that ball down the field and get points with ease.
But that's the thing is we made the adjustments too late against them. We were playing catch up.
Well, you
but
guys made the adjustments back.
no,
in
we
week
did. It was just way too late. Just to drop cover 3. But just they have such athletic guys against us where we're just we're a lot of role players on our team, right? So
But I think for PMS, I know we know these guys. They're a good group of guys, Brad Evans and all those guys. But you're right. I think they might be the more vulnerable of the top 3.
they always are. Every year they get into the playoffs, they always lose.
But I think MTL Loud would crack these guys.
MTL Loud to me is the team that if you get through them, you'll win. You'll win the division. But if they play a team like the U in the playoffs, in the finals, it doesn't work. I don't think it's going to work well for them. I think that the U is probably the strongest playoff team because of experience, because of things like that. But then I look at a team like Balls Deep. And the quarterback, what's his name? Weir? No?
Weir. Really
Justin
good
Weir?
player. I like him a lot.
Great player. Good guy. They have a bunch of good guys on that team. They are another team that I look at them and I'm like, if they need to figure, they need to get a tough win. Okay, because all their wins have been easy and their losses have been hard. You know what I mean? They need to get a tough win, and as soon as they get that tough win, they can go straight to the semis at least, and then see who they match up against in the semis.
I'm curious to see what Spartans do. I know PZ likes to go on the rant of, hey, Moe's anti-Spartan. I'm not anti-Spartan. They just don't win the big game.
I'm with you, man. We played against them, and it was like a really boring 13-12 victory, I think, for them. They have such good talent on their team. They have that one guy, Andrew Grant, talks a lot, backs it up. They have Martel, he's a freak. James, when he's on, is not much better than him. They have a bunch of good role players like Casavan and Hernandez. But for the most part, I just think that it's something that's missing with the Spartans. I don't know what it is.
You know what? I realized I did scorekeep a 5 game. It was the Bruins' victory. That's how bad the game was because they crushed.
Who did play?
Ducks and cover 44-18. It wasn't even close.
So, guys, looking at Conference A here, so 1 to 4 are pretty much locked in for playoffs because they all have 12 points. 5 to 11 are still up in the air in terms of who's going to finish where because you have 2 teams at 10 points, 1 at 9, 2 at 8, and 2 at 7.
So mathematically
Granted, Bud
eliminated.
Knights have 9 games played at this point. So
But that's in trouble, though. They got to win and pray that everyone loses.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
So
not gonna happen.
who of that 5 to 11 is going to get into playoffs and who's going to fall out? If you want to know schedules, let me know.
So you need 3 out, right? So 3 are going to be out. I say
3 need to be out. So, and Bud Knights have 9 games played. They only have 1 game left.
So Bud Knights to me are out.
Yeah.
I think Big Baller Brand is going to be out too.
Yeah.
Voodoo, who they play in their last 2 games? If you can help me out there.
Just by the way, Bud Knights are playing tip-top shape.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
So that's why they're definitely
That's
out.
why they're going to lose. Yeah.
Big Baller Brand has SCLSU Mud Dogs
Win.
and MT Loud.
Loss.
Voodoo's got.
Voodoo has Pardon My Swag
Loss.
and Ice Up.
Loss. There you go. Big Baller Brand's going to be
Yeah,
in.
that's not going to switch. I think what we're going to see is a change from 5 to 8. Who's going to finish those seedings?
Who do the Spartans have left?
Spartans have MT Loud and Longhorns.
Loss.
No, Longhorns they'll beat.
You think they'll be Longhorns?
Yeah, I think they'll beat Longhorns because they love going deep. Both
They do.
teams.
It's true.
So
The
I think
Longhorns
they'll
don't really
beat-
cover deep
beat
too well.
that. So on conference
It's going to
B,
be tight,
though,
man.
I think 5 to 8. Yes, that's going to be tight in terms of the matchup.
Outside looking in is going to be from those 3 teams is going to scroll up again. Eagles. Sorry.
Yep, sure.
Just a little bit. Yeah. So it's going to be Bud Knights. These 3 teams are going to be out. These 3 teams. That's
So it's
how-
going to stay like this.
is
1 to 8 are the ones that you lock.
Yeah, I think 8, 7.
Yeah, they may move around a little bit, but
that's it.
9, 10, 11 are going to finish in some order of 9, 10, 11.
That's
So
it. 6, 7, 8 are going to move.
How wild is it that Ducks and cover with 3 ties could get in with a win and a Arush loss?
Yeah, so one thing to keep in mind here, guys, is that for Conference B, there's a lot more teams with 9 games played, so there's not as much fluctuation that could potentially happen here, right? So 1 to 5 effectively are more or less locked in unless there's like a super disaster happening, but I don't think it can really change. So really it's Rancers all the way down to Les Voyous, which could potentially, have movement. K-Squad, thanks for playing.
Thanks.
Yeah, but I think Arouche and Fighting Tigers. Arouche beat Bruins this year. I score capped that game. They have a really good defense.
Did,
yeah? Yeah, they did.
Show me the roster, Arouche.
A lot of former Caribbean players on that roster. And they actually have Arouche as their T-shirts, by the way.
That's awesome. So just to give you guys
I
a
recognize
breakdown,
a few of these names. Yeah, for sure.
Arouche has Ducks and Cover and Unknown Talent as their next 2 games.
What's first game? Ducks and Cover?
Yeah.
So that's a playoff game right there.
And
winner,
Unknown Talent.
lose. Yeah, but loser of that game is done. Because if Ducks and Cover were to win and Arouche loses...
Well, that's their last game for Ducks and Cover, right? So that's a jump, potentially.
Well, hold on. See this guy. So what's the order of games then for Arouche then?
Arouche is playing Ducks and Cover first. And Unknown Talent second.
Right, so if they lose, if Ducks and Cover wins that game, they're done, Arouche. They're not going to catch Ducks and Cover.
No, because they can still catch Tough Lungs.
Go back. Let me
Yes.
see the standings.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all good, buddy. I know you're doing a lot of things at once there, Eeks.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, eh,
There
bud?
we go.
Yeah, Ducks and Cover, Arouche.
So Fighting Tigers are playing Brotherhood Light and Tough Lungs.
Man, this is bad, man.
Les Voyous are playing Rancers and GLC.
What is a Rancer?
They have a Raider logo.
Yeah, there's something weird. I don't know. And K-Squad doesn't count pretty much.
Poll question. What is a Rancer?
Ducks and Cover, like we talked about, is playing Arouche as their last game, and Tough Lungs is playing Fighting Tigers as their last game.
If Arouche doesn't bring a bunch of Lahmacun and they make the finals, quitting the league.
So you're saying that if they make the finals, you have to bring us
Food. They got to bring us food.
So essentially, if Fighting Tigers and Arouche beat Tough Lungs and Ducks and Cover respectively, they get themselves into playoffs pretty much.
So they
pretty
control their
much.
own destiny.
Yeah.
Lost or out.
Yeah, so
One lost or out, basically.
it's mind-boggling, though, that 3 ties can get you in the playoffs. We always talk about how ties are the downfall of teams, and 3 can get you in if they beat Arouche this week.
They're all over the place kind of thing. Some guys have good offenses, some guys have good defenses. I mean, but for the most part, like if you look at
But don't
Rancers,
you
Tough
like
Lungs,
it
and Ducks and
when
Cover,
it's like that, though? That's the
love
whole
it.
point, right? Teams
I
have
love
strengths
it.
and weaknesses.
I love it. I love it. I love when there's parity, Eagle. Nothing makes my junk hard more than parity.
Not even women?
They shank.
Parity first. A solid puts in second.
Sears catalog third.
Sears catalog.
Sears catalog.
There's a running joke we
It's a
had.
Zeller's catalog.
Get it. Mo says like getting a lie detector test. Get it.
Yeah.
I
We had a good laugh yesterday.
Get it.
with
It's
that.
pretty funny.
All right,
Let's talk
5B.
5B.
Yeah, let's wrap up hour 2 with 5B quickly here. So 5B, and as I load up the page here, as Eagle will get that page up for us as well. 5B, as this internet is super slow.
Mine's not, sucker.
All right. Thank you, Eagle. Okay, 5B.
You want to talk about games of the week first? Like games you watched and saw?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
please.
New Wave against Whack Attack this week.
That is a team. Those are both teams.
Yeah. New Wave against Whack Attack this week. It was last night. It was a barn burner, man. I think it was like
31-13.
yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It was 31-13. It ended at the end.
Did it really?
Yeah. It ended at the end of the game. The game ended, and then the game was over after that.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure the
you
game
should-
ended after the game was done, but it was also over at the same time. Yeah, this is the game on time. Yeah, exactly. Jared Gallant. Perfect. So the guy I was telling you about, that one of the best kept secrets is Antoine Fortin Lefebvre. This guy for Whack Attack. This guy, I don't know who he is. If he's ever played tackle football before, for sure he has. He is such a smart player. He's fast. He runs sick routes. He's got this long hair. He's aggressive. He belongs in like a Div 2 team. For real. Div 2, Div 1. I can see him on Flag 1 Sack. I don't know why he's not on the team yet. But I will say this about New Wave. They started off the game super slow. Jared threw 2 picks in his first 2 drives. All of a sudden, he starts running the ball. Look at his rushing yards.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Yes.
Bang. Oh, can you do me a favor, Eagle? Corrado Johnston on this team, defense, he had 3 sacks, not 2.
How did you screw that up?
Gianni Johnston? Number 6. Whoever number 6 is, he had 3 sacks, not 2.
It was Gianni then.
But that includes extra point sacks? Those don't count.
No, it doesn't. It does not. He got 1 in the last play of the game. I was too late to. I had pressed end game already.
Shocker.
Yeah, my bad. And then I had missed 1.
Because we're coming at the
So
end.
he has
at the
3
end.
sacks. Can you change that for me? Thank you.
You know I have to remove yards and everything, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Remove 5 each time. Or I'll just do it. Give me your access.
I even have to produce his scorekeeping job.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
So Jared, I don't want to say he impressed me because he used his feet a lot, but he did. But the team impressed me. Or a guy on their team that I liked is this guy Nick Gurench. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He was all over the place. Super aggressive player. But they played sound defense. They played extremely good against a team that is, how can I say this? They make big plays when they need to. You know what I mean? Whack Attackers, I've score kept them a few times. Great guys, but they make big plays when they need to. But sometimes they just can't get it done. And I think against a fiery team like New Wave, that's where they lost it. And it's unfortunate because I think it puts them. I don't know where they are now, but I think they're like right at the cusp of making the playoffs. So Whack Attack.
You know what? I saw this game.
Whack Attack are in the 8th seed right now.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw this game quick though on Sunday in Lachine. Chocolate Barracudas over Clinkers, winning by 4. That's an upset in my books. I think Clinkers are a far superior team of talent, where Barracudas have been playing with house money the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, but Barracudas, so I had the exact same feeling about them, but they have this style that's very hard. No, that's not true. It's easy to understand once you get it, and then you can play against it, but they're still very athletic. So if you don't pick up on their style and you don't play against it, you're going to get wrecked. And so in this case over here, I mean, maybe they just couldn't get a stop, and at the same time, Marc-André Delaunier was just bombing it downfield.
Which he does well, which is the only thing he does well.
Yeah, I just think he had a tough day at the office.
Yeah.
I don't think he was
255.
255, but a lot of his throws were drop balls.
Okay.
And that's where I think it really flustered him because he got frustrated at times.
So you think that Clinkers are a better team than Chocolate Barracudas?
From the experience of what they had, look at the roster.
Oh, I know. I like the roster. I like the roster.
Tony Corey, Eric Conte,
Philippe Ossan. He's nothing to laugh at either. Alex Dubois.
Good
teams.
Gotten better, man.
Good players.
He's gotten better as a player. So I think they are a better roster of experience of the wealth. But when it comes to the big play, Sonny Elias, even though he did get chewed out by his team at times for not reading the field as well, he's gotten better as a quarterback in the last 12 months.
But I think it's because of guys like Chris Wilson and Williams and Lucien Pierre that have actually helped them develop, right? I mean, they're calling for balls and they're left wide open. They're winning the one-on-ones, and they're making it easy on him.
Okay, Lucien Pierre, can you get his headshot for me, please?
Do I have to?
Are we still in 5A or 5B?
5B.
B.
5B. Does he not look like Takeo Spikes, former NFL player?
Yeah, he does. He does look
swear
like
to God.
Spikes.
Every time I see Lucien Pierre, I go, man, it's Takeo Spikes. Somehow they're related to each other, somehow, somewhere. So Takeo Spikes looks like Lucien Pierre. Lucien Pierre looks like Takeo Spikes.
We have a comment from chat from Ignacio Valdez Manzanedo saying, Booger Tam, because instead of Booger McFarlane, Mo, the game ended at the end of the game. Back to you, Mo.
And for those who don't know, watch the wild card game between the Houston Texans and Buffalo Bills, where unfortunately Booger McFarlane had a big fumble in describing the play.
Yeah, he's had a few.
Is that before or after he drew a dick on every single illustration he does?
It's crazy, eh? I think he does it on purpose now.
By the way,
I just think he's stupid.
Not to go off course here, but it appears ESPN is trying to acquire Al Michaels.
And Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, yeah. To get that. By the way, we should go to the trivia night at Honey Martin.
We should. Oh,
I'm down,
we're
man.
gonna plug it. Let's plug it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All
right.
Let's get Ignacio
I'm
on
fucking
right now.
down, man.
Can you call it Ignacio now to get him on air?
Yeah, get him on. Let's go.
I could, but I'd rather keep our show running. But I'll
call
get
him up,
the
please.
details.
5-minute call. 5-minute
Yeah,
call.
2-minute call, please.
That's not
30-second call.
Eagle, that's how it
Don't
works,
call
man.
him. Don't call him. It's okay.
You know what? Sorry, Ignacio. Eagle don't want to call you.
The phone call ended before it ended. While it ended,
yeah,
it's over.
exactly. It ended at the end.
It ended at the end of the phone call.
Exactly. So we make that as T-shirts. It ended
at the end of the game. The game ended when the time ran out.
Honey Martin's 6-1 right now. By the way, you can kind of segue into that though. They're 6-1. That division though is a death throw because you have Leftovers, Los Bandidos, Blackouts, Honey Martin, all within a point or 2 points of each other for 1 through 4. I still think there's a lot to be played in these next 2 games with these top 4 teams. I think we'll see a shift of who will finish in the top 4 of that playoff bracket.
So it's always comes down, especially that's why I like that we split the divisions in 2, especially in Division 5, because it always comes down to this. And Eagle, you're gonna have to help us with a little bit of the scheduling there.
Yes.
How come you have it like that? I don't have it like this.
What are you talking about? No, scroll up.
Click on the playoff standings.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm stupid.
Playoffs?
I really am Booger Time today. So,
wait, just for you guys, I'm gonna get this taken care of. So
It ended at the end. So
it ended at the end.
It ended at the end of the game. Oh, we're actually calling him, Ignacio.
That's how we work, man. Concrete had a really good line.
I got the first question.
Yeah.
Make it quick though.
Yeah, don't worry.
You have a trivia question for him?
Does he know we're calling?
Yep.
Hello.
Iggy.
Ignacio.
Hey, how's it going?
Iggy, we have a question for you. Multiple choice.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a multiple choice question.
Multiple
Yeah,
choice
go
question.
for
I'm
it.
going to give you 3 options. Okay. So, when does the game end? At the end of the game, when the clock stops, or when Mo decides to speak English?
Or D, when the game is over.
When the game is over.
It's clearly option D. It's always D when
Always D.
when it's not. Yeah, when it's not C, it's D.
So
You are
And it was
incorrect.
clearly
The
not
answer
C.
is E, all of the above.
All of the above.
So why is it that PZ craps on Honey Martin as being what, fake kings?
Fake kings.
The
Fake-
false
false
kings.
king.
False kings.
I really don't understand it. I don't. It's peas being peas. That's fine. I'm okay with it. We take on the heat. We use it as fuel. We also use beer as fuel from Honey Martin, but we'll take the peas criticism and use that to be a better team.
So, Ignacio, I'm going to give you about 30, 45 seconds. Plug your trivia night. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I'm down. Let's do it.
And I don't have to eat hot wings with it. Okay, I'll plug it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Honey Martin trivia Tuesday nights, usually 9 to 2 a.m. roughly.
Oh, 5 hours.
That's a lot of trivia.
It's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's 6. Yeah, it's 6 rounds of trivia, 10 questions per round, free drinks if your team wins. I usually bring some chips because you get pretty hungry late at night. So some food prizes, some drink prizes. A lot of fun. It's a lot of good times.
Okay, so when
Address.
Sherbrooke Street, right?
Yeah, somewhere on Sherbrooke Street.
Yeah.
5913 Sherbrooke Street West. Yeah,
59.
in NDG.
NDG.
What's the parking look like?
It's good parking.
Oh, yeah, because NDG.
No, it's
After
fine.
9 p.m. It's all good.
There you go.
All right,
Sold.
Ignacio.
Let's
All right,
do it.
Ignacio, you won the trivia competition here.
Thanks, Ignacio.
Congratulations.
Cool. All right, thanks guys.
Bye.
Good night.
Good on, buddy.
All right, perfect.
If you are a viewer, feel free to reach out to us, and we will call you and interrupt our entire flow of the show.
That's how we
I think
roll.
that's good. No,
Thanks,
we,
Mo.
we wanted to talk a bit about the fringe teams here.
Yes.
Give me Broke Boys rest of the schedule for Broke Boys.
Well, Chocolate Barracudas, that's the big one. for
We're
them,
doing
though.
the bottom section, Conference B first,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, so for Broke Boys, they got 2 games left.
Yeah.
They are going to be playing Thundercats and Honey Martin.
Thundercats, I love that name.
I'm Thundercats in the 8 hole right now, so that's an elimination game right there.
Well, not really, but yes.
Elimination,
It
but
is,
yeah, it's.
because
When do they play them? Last game or game week
Next
9?
week.
Next week. Okay.
so yeah,
it's not elimination yet.
it's pretty big because if you win that football game, you are not going to jump over that team for the head-to-head though.
Why is it highlighted in as another kind of green? The top
Because
two?
division.
Because the top 2
division
have
leaders.
the top of the divisional seeds.
Divisional leaders.
So
so they
Leftovers
get-
and Los Bandidos are winning their divisions.
Okay.
And then the rest 3 to 8 are the wild card.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Divisional
Yeah.
leaders.
Okay, my bad.
Exactly.
Thank
Chocolate
you, thank
Barracudas,
you.
though, big win for them, so they're still in the thick of the playoff race
They got
now.
Green Monster 2.0, and then they have Thundercats.
Yeah.
And that could be another elimination game right there against Green Monster 2.0 and Thundercats. So, yeah, they are in it now. I think they do get in, Chocolate Barracudas, and they'll be your 7th seed in the playoffs.
Okay. You want to go Conference A?
Yeah. Actually, I do.
I'll go quick here, comments say.
Give me 8-town schedule.
Lockdown.
A-Town schedule. They have Whack Attack and Warriors.
Oh, man. Oh, those are some good games
boy.
right there.
Yeah,
I love
that's-
watching A-Town play.
Yeah, it's going to be
I
tough.
love watching Whack Attack play and the last one Warriors.
Well, look, the reality is.
Warriors are good. I watched them destroy. Who did I watch them play this week?
Do they audible in Greek?
No, they're Italian, most of them.
Oh, yeah, they
There's
played
only
that-
one,
Warriors?
2 Greek guys. Yeah,
Yeah, they played.
there's 2 Greek guys on that team.
Wednesday.
Peter and Sava.
Oh, okay.
They
The
played-
rest of them are Italian, and they're not even Italian. Like there's John is Italian. The Soleimani brothers are Italian. One guy's name is Bird or something like that. He's actually probably their best player. The
Sean
snapper.
Byard?
Yeah, the snapper, number 14.
Byard?
Yeah,
Bayard?
whatever it is. He's probably their best player. But yeah, they're a good team, Warriors. I like them. I like watching them play. Who did they beat this week?
They were
Hot Sauce. They beat Hot Sauce.
Well, yeah, 46-40.
Yeah, that
and
was a
next
barn
week
burner.
they have Goats and then A-Town to finish.
But no joke, QB controversy of Hot Sauce Sports.
Yeah, willpower.
I don't see why they should go back to Peas. Nothing against Peas. Or why I think Peas should stay in Division 6.
You just spat on Peas' ego right now.
No, but I've told him this.
He knows.
I've told him this. Just snap. But where's John Sebastian going to go? Right wide. Put him there. He has good hands.
Yeah, wide bench.
Wide bench.
But would Peas be okay with it though?
No, he wouldn't. But the thing is, it's Peas' team, so he can do whatever he wants.
So does Hot Sauce have a chance of actually getting into playoffs at this point in your mind? They have
No,
New Wave and
absolutely
Brewers at their last 2 games.
No.
No, because Peas is going to come back. They have 2 games left. He's going to come back. Food poisoning, bum ankle, Peas. And
That's great alignment of the stars for him to come back and do.
And
well.
then Mean Girls have no chance because they have 9 games played and 4
They don't
points.
wear shirts under their tank tops, and they're all
Well, that
hairy.
too, but
Yeah.
But they were pretty confident. Their bravado is, we'll see you in the playoffs. I'm like, all right, man.
Not so much. After the first game I saw you, I score kept your games. No way were you guys making the playoffs.
Mean Girls not going to playoffs.
Because Division 5 is stacked with teams that know how to play football. And the Mean Girls are lacking. They brought that one guy in, the quarterback there, the young kid. I forgot his name. He's actually pretty good.
Yeah, he's a pretty good quarterback.
He's not bad. If they brought him in
Yeah.
earlier, I would have
Yeah.
said, maybe.
He was nice enough. Hey, do you have my number? I'm like, yeah, man, no worries.
Yeah,
We're
good
to
guy.
go. Nice guy.
Cool.
All right,
That's it.
hour 2 done. Hour
We
3
got one
coming up.
more.
Hour 3 coming up.
Woo-wee! do we
Division
got?
1, 2.
we got Division
and
1,
4.
Division 2, Division 4, both A and B. And we got an interview with, I guess, newly inducted Hall of Famer Sean St. Leo Avraam.
My teammate, my quarterback.
Does he live in Laval
That's my
now?
quarterback.
He lives in
He's in Laval now?
No, he's in East End.
They moved to Laval.
No, he's close here. He kept on trying to schmooze his way in here. I told him, no, you're not allowed.
Yeah, it's true.
Screw him.
Yeah.
He messaged you too?
Yep.
He messaged me,
You were
you,
gonna bring
Simon.
me a case of wine, and I said, get the fuck out
What
of
about
here.
Yeah,
TV? If he brought his TV.
He told me, he's like, apparently you don't want me there. I'm like, yeah, I don't want you there.
I actually would have.
Nobody
It's a
wants you,
waste of
Sean.
time.
All right, hour 3 coming up.
Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Something like a rose when we came out there. We settled facts like Da Vinci. I'm breaking codes and breaking backs. Come on, get your ass up if you're slipping. Put another smile like it was the last Christmas. Hey. Put the place up. Put the place up. Yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo. I'm a chaser. Face up. Now I feel a little major. Blink of an eye. Ego, I'm a taker. Shaker. Yeah, she was a born shaker. She shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Sounding like a rose when we came out there. We settled facts like Da Vinci. I'm breaking codes and breaking backs. Come on, get your ass up if you're slipping. Put another smile like it was the last Christmas. Hey.
All right, so it looks like Shea Weber lost the fight to Mikhail Sergachev.
A fight?
Yeah.
Can we get it?
Connor McKenna. Shea Weber losing that fight to Mikhail Sergachev was a painful moment on a number of levels.
Yeah.
It's also a perfect illustration of how this organization is and where they seem to determine to stay. So, I don't know.
It's a little dramatic, Connor McKenna. I'm a fan of you, Connor, but that's a little dramatic. Of a
I don't know. We need to. Can we get the fight up here? Or let me.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Check
Very
Reddit.
curious. We're doing Div 4 now?
Yeah, we'll do.
One,
Or Div
two.
1? 1? Let's do Div 1.
Let's see. Shea Weber is trending right now. Hold on here.
Oh, there it is, there it is.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
we go.
chirping, too, chirping. No, Eagle's going to get it up. Eagle's going to get it up. It's on
It's
Twitter.
on Twitter?
Yeah.
All right, let me get it on Twitter.
Oh, he missed.
Oh, it's 'cause he missed.
He missed.
Come on, man.
No.
I'll put my left nut on the line.
Oh,
then
no, here we
Weber-
go. It's still
it's-
going.
Yeah, it's going back up.
Still going back up.
Sergachev's a big boy. I didn't think he was
Yeah,
that
he
big.
is pretty big. Pretty solid. They're just holding
Oh,
on
they
to each other
stopped it.
now.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
I want to see it again. I want to show. I want all the fans to see the Eagle.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that was really.
I want the FBF community to watch it.
No, I don't think that was really a fight. Okay, so Sergachev.
Wait,
Weber.
it's gonna be up here for everybody,
Oh,
man. Just
he-
be patient.
Okay, you got one right in there.
Just be patient,
I'm watching
man.
right now, man.
Just be patient.
I'm watching it right now.
I'm looking for it's on Twitter.
Yeah, Connor
type
McKenna.
in, type in Shea Weber, you'll find it.
I did.
Brady Trinidad.
Oh, he got a couple of rights in there. He missed, and then he went down.
Can you just give me the goddamn Twitter handle?
Here's your replay.
Here's a
your
replay?
here's
Yeah,
your replay.
yeah.
It's riveting podcasting right here.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway,
Okay, he does radio for a living.
okay, so anyway, well, let's dive into Div 1, Div 2, as Eagle will get the fight up for us. It's like we're like streaming a fight. By the way, did you hear about this?
What, a fight?
So the Fury fight,
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder fight, right? They had about 850,000 buys for it at $80 a pop, right?
Not me. I waited 5 minutes and then watched it on YouTube.
Okay,
for free.
so here's the thing, right? Before
Oh,
we
there
get-
it is. There it is. Let's watch.
Right to him.
Weber can't get out of there fast enough.
Oh, you got one jab in, one over the head.
And Sergachev is a big, strong kid. And look at Weber. We know he is. And a
Listen,
swing and a miss is
don't get me wrong. Sergachev did work, but that wasn't a
Put the
beating.
momentum. I don't think he's done yet.
He's not done yet.
Shea Weber and Mikhail Sergachev scrapping here at the
Danny
end of the
Robertson.
second.
Line's been taking two other players off the ice, so there's no one there to break this one up.
You can see blood on the back of Weber's jersey at the top.
Well, a lot of frustration there at the end of the period. Tampa Bay taking liberties.
Weber.
Okay, I'll ask you Weber that question on Tuesday. All right, so before we get to Div 1, Div 2, so there was 850,000 buys of this pay-per-view, which is pretty decent for this heavyweight fight. So a guy was on ESPN Radio. You know how many people streamed it?
Illegally?
Yeah. Take a guess.
I'd probably say 10 times that number.
What do you think, Eagle?
I'd say 5 million.
How many people actually bought it?
850,000 bought it.
Yeah.
So at $80 a pop, that's whatever number it is, right? So how many people
I'd
do you
say
think?
5 million.
I was gonna say 10 million.
You're close. 10 to 20 million.
Yep, I was gonna
legally
say.
streamed of the fight.
Yeah, 5 to 10% was gonna say actually
It was
purchase it.
crazy, man.
Conversion rate's very low. on that
Crazy,
stuff.
dude. That upwards of 20 million people.
The thing about
Plus,
the thing about
also
boxing,
remember the people that are actually watching the game or the fight illegally is not one person.
No,
right?
it's a
someone's
bunch.
getting it for
Oh, yeah,
like their
for sure.
posse or whatever.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thing
That's
about
why it's,
boxing
like,
compared
crazy
to the UFC is that boxing doesn't do much to stop the stuff. The UFC does a lot to stop the stuff.
Yeah.
Like if I'm watching a stream illegally for 15 minutes, chances are it's going to get pulled down. The UFC is super good, and you'll never see any highlight of the fight anywhere for like 3 weeks on YouTube. Anywhere for UFC. Boxing, I watched the entire fight at 12:30 at night.
That's not always true. You know, you can watch the entire McGregor fight.
You've
Where?
been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.
Yes, you can. You can watch the entire thing on the Hot Sauce Sports Instagram account. We still have it up. We haven't been flagged yet.
Phenomenal. Okay, so it's time.
40 seconds long.
Let's talk about Division 1, Division 2 now. Ugly loss for Yuxu against
I know, they suck.
STL.
They are garbage.
Well, you guys aren't garbage. I think it was just a dud of a game for you guys. Hollowak did not play well.
Don't blame Hollow.
No, I'm not blaming him, but
You can't blame Hollow. On the first drive, we had 3 drops, 2 of them for touchdowns.
no, I'm not.
One of them was actually a touchdown, but they didn't call it a touchdown.
But the reality is, it is set up for Hollowak to win this title.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Maher's going to win. He has like 2 games in hand, and
I'm
he's
talking about the Division 1 title.
Oh, the championship.
Yeah,
Okay.
championship. It's set up for you guys to win. Like, I mean, finals will never be the same again. STL is peaking, and that might be the matchup with you guys against them round 2.
Well, it's right. People always some people say, oh, you and Braves have a rivalry because of the finals. Our biggest rival has always been STL. The reason why is because we played against them in every division. We played against them in Division B to 2 to 1 now, and we've always had good games against them. We've had games that ended on the last play, blowouts like this one. We've blown them out. They've blown us out. It's always been back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with this game, I can only talk for you can't sit with us. It wasn't Hollowak. By far, it was not Hollowak. We dropped way too many touchdowns, and we were super flat on defense. Like, to the point where if I'm giving you shit, because I don't even play defense. If I'm giving you shit, it's because you're not playing good enough, and we let them get into our heads, and that's exactly what happened. Dylan played flawlessly. He had Paul Lapierre down the middle open almost every single time.
Sean Steen with that crazy catch.
Oh, Sean. Yeah. Well, the thing about that play was that it fell right into his bucket.
But it was like 4 bodies of traffic. Hell.
It was literally James Ohayon and Chris sandwiching. I forgot the guy's name. Caden Marchand Wright and Sean Steen, and it fell right into Sean Steen's hands. Sean Steen's a great player.
Over the top.
Yeah. Sean Steen's hair, best hair in the league.
Dreads, brother.
Man, it's long though, super long.
Well, I think it's pretty indicative now. It's the Braves' division to lose with 2 games left. Unless the Braves were to lose one of the last 2 games, then maybe you guys would get the 1 seed back in your favor. But with their schedule left and their 2 games is Godskills and STL.
Yeah, it's not likely. And the way the playoffs in Division 1 work is the top 3 get a bye. 4-5 play each other. 6 is eliminated. The winner of 4-5 plays 1. 2 and 3 play each other.
Yeah.
So it looks like STL and You Can't Sit With Us are going to play each other first round.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun matchup, right? But, I mean, obviously things can change. You never know with Godskills with 2 games left. But remember, they lost to STL, and that was a fireworks.
But STL has 1 game left, and it's against Braves.
I don't know, guys. The app test, they still have a full season ahead of them.
Well, like
they still got 9 games left, you know.
They're undefeated right now. If you project their numbers, they are going to go 10-0.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But here's the thing with the
But
finals.
app test ABC, they suck, man. Holy shit.
They're
awful.
Finest, though, I think do you think they have a chance to fall out of the playoffs?
Yeah, I said at the beginning of the year, finalists are going to be outside looking in. And it's going to be so weird to see Kevin Wyeth not in the playoffs. Because every year he's always been in the playoffs.
Okay, well, so let's talk about the games from this week. There's only 2.
Yes.
Godskills is playing Flagmoil-Sac.
That was a crazy game, too.
No, it's coming up.
It's coming up this week.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the game last week.
And Finest is playing Yixwu.
Yes.
That's a Monday night, right?
Yeah.
There?
So FMS is playing Godskills.
Yes.
And that's their last game. Finest is playing Yixwu, and that's their last game. And then Godskills plays Braves in week 11, and then Braves also plays STL in week 11.
But let's say Godskills beats Flagmois, and You Can't Sit With Us.
Then Finest stay in, right?
No, and You Can't Sit With Us beat the Finest. They don't stay in automatically. They have head-to-heads.
Let me check Finest FMS.
I think they went 0-2 against Flagmois.
Finest beat FMS twice. Yeah, exactly. So Finest are in then.
Finest beat FMS twice.
Need to win.
So I'm going to say something about Flagmois Sac. They've legit, I don't think they fielded a full team more than twice this year.
No, they haven't.
I haven't seen Vendram. I saw Vendram once. When we played against them. Other than that, I haven't seen them, and I've watched like 3 or 4 of their games. Against us, against us last week, a couple weeks ago, they had random guys, and they still did well. Which goes to show why Alex Nadeau-Hughes is probably the best quarterback in this league now.
Most vital cog of that whole offense.
Oh, for sure. Especially two-way, man. That guy's unreal.
But here's the thing with Flagmois Sac. I mean, they can still get in if Finest were to lose and they were to win their game this weekend, and that means Finest would be in the outs. But I wouldn't discount if Flagmois Sac got in. I mean, I wouldn't want to face them.
No, me neither.
In a one-off, in the scenario that it would be if I'm Braves most likely not. I'm kind of like, oof. I don't have the easiest semifinal matchup than I would have thought of in the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's tough, man, but I think STL right now, they're riding their five-game winning streak. But even I think I said it last week, even when they were about 0-2, 0-3, I saw Theo at the field, and I told him, like, I'm really not worried about them. Like, I knew they were going to figure it out. Paul Lapierre, man. Paul Lapierre has such a way of just getting his teams to win. You know what I mean? Dylan is ice cold sometimes, and Theo, obviously, we know how good Theo is. And then the surrounding cast they have, Quade fills in. He's a sub. Quade Johnson's a sub. You know what I mean? So they have the guys to play. And I knew Division 1, there's going to be one team out. I knew it was going to be the Finest. Because the last couple of years, they've been inconsistent with their roster. I don't know how Kevin can't recruit. I mean, get some players. You're considered probably the best player in history of flag football.
But the problem is that it's too exclusive. They're not inclusive, but they're more exclusive of what he feels comfortable with.
But okay, instead you're going to be bringing in guys that people suggest when you can just talk to somebody and say, hey, or maybe go watch a Div 2, Div 3 game, bring some guys in. Sebastien Crécy-Lozon doesn't play on a Div 1 team. A guy like maybe Joel Malkin doesn't play on a Div 1 team. I don't know if he'd play, but just to say, Hugo Alemano doesn't play on a Div 1 team. These are all guys that are very good players that don't play. I'm not saying that they're game breakers, but they're not in Division 1. I'm sure they would like the opportunity. There's plenty of guys in the league that would like opportunity. Just ask the question. All you have to do is ask the question.
I wonder if maybe they're resting on the laurels of arrogance, perhaps saying, well, We can still roll these guys one last kick at the can.
But who's their top 6, Mo?
Well, Keyshawn Thompson has done well, but that's the problem, though.
Kerouac, Keyshawn, and Kevin. Jermaine.
The KKK.
Wow.
Jermaine, who's their 5th?
That's a rotation.
Exactly.
It's a rotation.
So you can't rely on 4. Those 4 guys are 100% Div 1 caliber players. You can't rely on 4 guys to win when the other teams are fielding 8. You can't say with us fielding 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they might have some playoff issues, though, because I believe they have, Frank, Janai, Lewis.
Janai's filled in. He's a really solid player. Olivier Bourdage is in there, too. He's been in the league for a long time. Experienced.
But these guys are
not the best. Jared Taylor was supposed to be on the roster. Can't play because University of Montreal is not letting him.
Yeah.
Francois Hug, he's a rusher primarily. Guillaume Ward was supposed to be on the team, didn't play for some reason.
Pat Jerome hurt his wrist, so he was out from the get-go.
Yeah, Josiah Pennicook. It's all year. It's just been up and down, and I don't know what's going on with these guys, man. It's like figure it out. If you want to play in Division 1, if you don't, then go to Division 2.
Yeah. So the reality is
Kevin can't throw in Division 2.
No,
not yet. Anyway.
No, not yet. But I think Father Time might be catching up to this team ever so rapidly.
But then I watched Kevin play with nobodies and still drop dimes.
But look at the game stats. Eagle, if you pull up the game finals loss to Got Skills, I think it was this week. And I'll give you the stat line from this game. So they played Got Skills on Sunday, okay? Opening drive went 12 plays. Kevin White did not score a touchdown. So in the peak finest of dominance, the first 12 plays,
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns minimum.
100%, yeah.
But now he goes 12 plays, can't score.
Well, he doesn't have a deep threat, Mike Harrington or Guillaume Ward. He doesn't have that. He has Matt Kerouac, who's very reliable. Probably one of the... I can't say he's not one of the best snappers in the history of FPF.
But look at that stat line, man. 120.
One of the best rushers, too.
125 yards. Wyeth would get that in the first, 4 series of a game.
Keyshawn's making a case for either receiver of the year or two-way player of the year.
Yeah, he's going to be an all-star, I think.
He's going to be an all-star for sure.
But that's by default because of the lack of talent of who Wyeth trusts.
How Kerouac only has 2 catches for 8 yards is beyond me, man. What is going on? What is going on?
What is going on outside right now? I hear some noise going on right now outside.
I don't know.
But this was an ugly game from the get-go. Wyeth got stopped. They stopped Got Skills at the finals 1. They get the ball back. Wyeth goes for it on 4th and 10 from his 1. He gets stopped. And Nixon Toma scores from the 1 yard line. It was a low passing effort from both quarterbacks, but the reality was there was, again, far too many mistakes from the finals end that led them to lose this football game.
These are the and a pick six.
Yeah, and a pick six. These are the 2 teams that, on a Div 1, I'm not worried about.
You want to talk Div 2?
Yes, Div 2. Dive into Div 2, please. Sean Avraam will join us in a few minutes. Score kept the no regard game. It was a joke because they played no cap, who were missing guys, so they were down 12-0 early on. So it was more like a joke of a game for no regard. They'll go into the playoffs, I think 10-0. I think it's pretty obvious.
No regard. Who do they play this week?
No regard. I believe
they have Terror Squad this week.
Hey, you know what?
And that might be a round 2 matchup, by the way.
Might be a round 2 matchup. Yeah, it's true.
In terms of just who's kind of on the outside looking in, Killa Bees have 2 games left.
They also lost a lightweight this week.
Yeah. So does lightweight get in?
So
lightweight's going to get in. They're
Killa
going to beat no
Bees
cap.
is playing Bad Boys and Terror Squad.
Out. Done. Forget them.
Lightweight is playing No Cap and Le Stud.
Yeah, that's
so lightweight is going to play No Cap. Lightweight, you heard it here, is going to beat No Cap.
Yeah, that's the limited.
Which means that No Cap has no more games left, and they lose their head-to-head to lightweight. Which means that lightweight is going to be in the freaking playoffs.
Yep. That means Simon Dagenet might be going to the roadshow as a finalist.
They're going to play NR in the first round, and they're going to lose.
How crazy would it be if Simon Dagenet pulled off the unthinkable and wins a Div 2 title?
You know how crazy it would be? That never say those words again because it's never going to happen.
What's the odds right now? Well, if we
odds, okay. Right now, if I say for a lightweight to win the finals,
the whole thing, yes.
They're not even in playoffs yet, and we're talking about winning the finals.
85-1.
Like, hold on, Eagle, can you look it up for us? Leicester City.
Same odds that Greece got to win the Euro when the tournament started.
Well,
85-1.
That's a smaller number of teams, though. Leicester City, when they won the English Title League in 2016, what were their odds? Was it 5,000 to 1?
5,000.
It was some crazy
5,001. Literally 5,001.
Yeah, exactly.
Put
And
a
so one
dollar
guy,
in
one
5,000.
guy I think bet like 50 pounds on it, won some crazy money.
That's crazy.
But would we go 5,000 to 1 odds for lightweight to
No,
win?
5,000. 85 to 1 is a good number. Because if they win next week against a team that only has one more win than they do, it's that you have to take that into consideration. Then they're in the dance.
But look at Underachievers 2.0. They're starting to creep up now, and they could be your number 2 seed. And who's their next game against Eagle?
They have Les Studs.
Studs, and that's... I'm a bit disappointed in the Studs. I thought they would have been a 7-win team.
Well, the thing is that them two with inconsistent rosters, they had 2 games, I think, where Caron didn't play.
Well, also, I mean, if you look at their games played, they lost to NR by 2 points.
Yeah.
They destroyed
That was a good
Killabees.
game, by the way.
They lost to BYOB. They lost to No Cap. And then they lost to Terror Squad.
They beat Taco Tuesday.
They beat Taco Tuesday. They beat BYOB in the rematch. They beat Bad Boys. So,
Yeah.
I mean, of the games they lost, maybe you can argue they should have beat No Cap.
Les Studs, but the thing is, they played no cap with their backup. It wasn't Caron there.
I know, but that's it. Like,
If
okay,
Caron
so
was there, it's a
maybe-
very different story.
Maybe they're 5-3, but I don't know how you got 7-1. Like, do you really expect them to beat Terror Squad?
Yeah.
No,
if you have a full roster of...
No, they have 3 guys in their team. They have Caron, La Flamme, and one other guy. I'm always forgetting his number. Give me the roster.
Let's see right now. Tyfair is very good. Emile Tyfair?
Yeah, exactly, him.
He's a very good player.
And then La Flamme, and pretty much all they have.
they got
Their defense sucks. They basically rely on Caron. They're a good team, but it's just that I don't see them as a 7-1 team. Mo's crazy.
No, I'm not crazy for this one because you got Emmanuel
You're nuts.
Capella, who's a good player both ways. Won a great cup with Winnipeg, by the way. They got Tyfair, who's an excellent receiver. LaFlamme's very good, but Nathan LaFlamme, that is. They have guys that have a rapport with Caron from their tackle days. And look, they're going to be what? A 6 seed, maybe a 4 or 5 at best.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to face them in the opening round of the playoffs.
I was Taco Tuesday, I want to face Studs in the playoffs.
So let's just let's do some work over here, Eagle. Let's work some backroom strings and get that to happen, man.
No.
I want Taco Tuesday. I want to play the Studs.
Captain Constipate is not going to do anything for you.
Nope.
No.
Never.
No.
Why would
Captain
he?
Constipate?
Yeah, constipated. Because you don't constipate people. You are constipated.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mo does that to my eardrums.
No, I think it's all the sugar you eat.
Yeah, a lot of sugar you have, Eagle. Let's get Sean Avraam
You're going
on
to die at 36.
No.
37?
Maybe.
Oh, they can't hear that, eh? So we have to continue talking.
Yeah, Sean
I always
Avraam.
forget about that.
Sean Avraam will join us now as well.
My quarterback, man. Taco Tuesdays. I bet you he doesn't answer. Okay, here he is. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Sean.
Sean, what's this incessant need for you to message everybody that works for me and ask them to come to the podcast?
What did you say?
Okay, forget it.
Okay, Sean, your thoughts, your reaction when you found out you're going to the Hall of Fame as the 11th best quarterback in Division 2.
12th.
Hold on. How are you?
Yeah, how's it going, Mo?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Get straight to it, right?
Right away. That's how radio works. That's how radio works, Sean.
We don't need introductions. We know who you are.
Yeah, you're the Hall of Famer, Sean Mazel Tov.
Yeah, I guess. It's
Congrats.
fake, though. It's fake.
Congrats, buddy. Congrats.
So, sorry, what did you say now?
Your thoughts when you found out you're going to the Hall of Fame.
Obviously, I was happy, but I feel like a little bit overdue, personally. But, yeah, I was happy, of course.
Were you crying?
Especially with the guys that went in.
Were you crying when you found out? Was it like tears of joy?
Oh, no. It was like the Italian parade, like they blocked the streets, they marched the streets, like the flags, everything. It was great, yeah.
Well, by the way, are you living in Laval or St. Leonard?
I'm close to you. I'm in St. Leonard.
Oh,
I'm like 3 blocks away.
He never lived in Laval, man.
I thought you lived in Laval, no?
Come on. No kids yet.
When did he live in Laval?
Never.
Oh, anyway. You're in the washroom, aren't you?
No, I'm watching the Houston Rockets get crushed.
This makes for great radio, asking someone, so what are you doing tonight?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Of course.
Look, you see this? Dak just went to Oakland. I can't believe it. What?
Huh? What?
Wow.
He's trying to
Dak
fuck
for
with
car.
me. He's trying to fuck with me.
What?
Wow.
What?
So, talking
So,
about
Sean-
quarterbacks that are overpaid, how is your quarterbacking going this year?
Yeah, I know.
So Sean, we were just talking about we were talking about Div 2. We were giving it a rundown, and I said Mo was saying that studs should be 7-1. I said we lost the studs, and I would love to play them in the first round of the playoffs.
Dak did not go to the Raiders.
I know.
You want to play? Yeah, I wasn't there for that game, so
I know.
I mean, I don't know how it was, but from what I see, they're all outdoor players, and they're kind of adjusting to the indoor game. So yeah, I would take that matchup for sure. I would take that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Mo's crazy. He thinks studs are all of a sudden there's this
definitely
team.
crazy.
He thinks they're a bunch of studs or something.
They are studs. Sean, when you look at the division now, I mean, no regards running away. They'll be your one at 10-0 eventually. Do you think they're the best team, or do you think they have some weaknesses to their team that you can exploit, perhaps?
They're the best team. They'll probably make it to the final. Very good. Corey's having a year like no other, obviously, but he's never there, so I don't know what his status is for the playoffs. I'm sure he'll find a way.
He was there against us.
Yeah,
Right
but
now-
he's missed like 2 games or something now.
He's got the 6, so he's eligible for playoffs. So
You need 5.
Yeah, you need 5 to get in, so he's more than enough to get in the playoffs, so he'll be okay. But is there a team that no one's talked about from your recollection that might sneak up on someone in the playoffs?
Well, we just played them. Underachievers are, they're well balanced. I don't know if Theo and Jamie are going to make that roster, but they're good. Dylan's having another good year. Is Theo part of the team?
No, I think he was subbing in.
No, he was subbing
He
in.
was
I think
in.
Jamie's on the team. I don't think Theo is though.
Yeah, Jamie's a full-timer.
But who's Theo replacing? Can you pull up the roster, Mo? Right there.
Oh yeah, McLaren.
Oh, McLaren. That's it. Yeah, he's in
So.
Dubai or something.
Is he really?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Fucking good.
So underachievers. Obviously, we played them this week. They're a tough team, but yeah, they're probably the quietest team because they started off super freaking slow. But you know what?
Yeah, well.
You know what, Sean? Taco Tuesdays, man. We're gonna take it. I know it. I know you hate hearing this shit, but we're gonna do it. I have no doubts in my mind.
So, Sean, since we're confident enough that Taco Tuesday is going to the finals, why is it you always have these shortcomings in the playoffs?
Okay, why do you ask him these dumb questions?
I'm curious to know what happens. Why do you have these shortcomings in the playoffs?
He's not good at interviews.
I feel like Matt Kerouac wrote that question.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know why
He would
people
get
think that
that
Sean's
job.
not good in the playoffs. He beat Brotherhood last year. Well, not as a quarterback, but he won Finals MVP in Division 3 last year.
I don't remember that game.
Yeah,
Of course you
know
don't
what?
remember because it's a positive.
Yeah. I'm not really worried about it. It's just, oh man, always first game get the jitters. Get past the first game, it's lights out after that for me. That's how I think. But it's normal, butterflies. I still get it at my age.
Sean has this thing where if he's recorded, he's not going to play well.
No,
I
for
mean,
sure,
the
for
game
sure.
of the week?
Game of the week.
Yeah, forget it.
So that means you're not going to play well in the Div 2 final then?
No. When the finals, it's fine because it's not in his face.
Oh, the cameras
Yeah,
are going to be in the face this year.
Yeah, they're going to be like right in his face.
Yeah.
Every player's going to have a camera in front of their face.
Yeah, more or less.
I don't know if I'm trying to think if I've lost in the finals maybe once. Maybe once. I'm trying to think once maybe. And it was the last play of the game.
What? So you made the Hall of Fame. What year did you start playing in the league, Sean?
06.
06.
Yeah.
So
Young
that
Guns.
was like what, year 2? Year 1 of the league?
Year 2, Young Guns.
Well, that's what I was. Yeah, I joined Young Guns. I believe their second season. I want to say second season.
If you had to pick one of all the teams you played on as like the best team you played on, you take that team, you put them in Division 1. Which team would it be?
I don't know. One of the beginning Young Guns team. The second year I was playing with them, there was I think Kevin White was part of the team. There was Chad. There was Carmen. You guys, Chad was a very good receiver as well. There was
Chad Byers?
Ty, who was very good. Yeah, we had a dual QB. They were QB. I don't know. It's a tough question. So many teams I played with. I like the Dad Bods we had 2 years ago, but we lost to Pareca first round.
Yeah, when you had Theo, AJ,
Jason Prince,
yeah.
right?
Jason, Prince is
Patron-
usually on the team.
Patron was missing that week. That week, Rich was out of.
But you
Rich
guys came.
was hurt, I believe.
You guys came back in the second half. You almost made a game out of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, but
So how's the season been going so far for you? Tell me how good your snapper
this year.
is.
get the best off. That's guaranteed. But
this guy.
No, it's getting used to with Terry, and he knows it.
But how's the season going?
But,
Give us a
I love
breakdown.
it. You know what it is? The problem is we're not playing together. I think we should be number 2. We should probably have 1 loss. No joke. That's to no regard.
Yeah.
We're not playing. We're not playing together. If you want to say.
We're not cohesive.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
We need to go bowling, man. We need to go bowling.
Well, as you're aware, getting together before playoff, and, getting rid of all the bad blood, I guess you want to say, is probably the best thing for us to do right now.
I think so too.
To be focused and going into the playoff. So yeah.
Or you just give me the ball and see what happens.
True.
I think Terry brought you on just to kind of warm you up to the idea of having you throw him the football.
I think I have the second most catches in the team.
Sean, I always have a fun segment for our guest there. Let's say tomorrow Commissioner Rob Campana decides to step down. He's too busy being a dad or something stupid. I don't know.
You just gave Sean a bone.
So he says, Sean, you know what? I want you to run the league for this year. What things would you change in the way we run FPF? Like if you were commissioner for a day type of thing, what would you do?
Okay, let's not say for a day, but let's say for a season. Underground betting, side betting, guaranteed,
so hold on. Since we have it on air, sorry to cut you off, Sean. Lightweight, we're trying to figure out the odds for them. If they qualify for the playoffs and were to win Div 2, what odds would you give Lightweight to win Div 2?
That's a good call.
10,000-1.
10? No, come on. Get real here.
10,000?
I gave 85-1. It's a legit number. Give me a real better's number.
Honestly, they're not going to probably make the playoffs, right? So
they're not going to make the playoffs. All they have to do is beat
so
no
there
cap.
you go.
They have to beat no cap this week, and they make the playoffs.
You go look. They're not going to win. You go look right now for Habs to win the Stanley Cup. It's probably like 10,000-1.
No, the Habs to win Stanley Cup is not 10,000-1.
What is it? Whatever it is.
It's not 10,000.
That's the number.
So that's the number? Give it to me, Eagle.
That's the number I give.
For the Habs to win the Stanley Cup right now, what's the number?
For the Habs to win the Stanley Cup right now,
Isn't it
you're
like 400?
looking at a 1.6% chance of making playoffs with a 0.3% chance of making the wild card. They basically have no percentage to win the cup. It's really good.
So there's nobody would even make the line.
No, there's no line for that.
So there's no line for lightweight winning the championship. There you go.
Yeah.
Go look at 365.
I think there's technically a percentage that's calculated. It's to win the cup, it's 0.5%. It's basically
not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So Sean, and by the way, I want to ask you a question. Do you remember your best throw you made to Moe Khan?
When did you guys play together?
He knows.
Yeah, the lights turned off. The lights turned off.
And where did you connect with me? Yeah, exactly. That's your best throw ever. I never forget that day.
You know what? It was on target.
It was on target in the dark.
Okay,
That's
last question, Sean. Last question, okay? You run a play. You have 2 receivers wide open in the end zone. Those receivers are 1A, Vinny Golano, option A. Yeah. Option B, Jason Prince. Who are you throwing to?
Vinny.
Vinny, yeah? Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, you pissed off Prince right now.
Nah, Prince is a defensive guy.
That's why. It's easy.
Prince
if you ask me someone else, different story. Prince.
Prince is a very good, very underrated defensive guy.
Yeah, he's actually. You know what? This guy's you should look at him as Hall of Fame, honestly. This guy's done a lot for the league,
I threw him a vote this year. I think I gave him like 4 out of my 10.
I think he was my highest vote. My highest vote I gave him. It was him. Him and Tam were my two, like 9, 10 or something.
I actually had you, Hollow, and Tam as my votes.
You didn't vote for yourself?
I wasn't nominated.
Not you.
Let me ask you, how come you guys never put the final ratings or percentage out of the rest of the candidates?
That's Alex's department.
They did.
No, he didn't put the overall standings.
Oh, the overall, okay.
People want to see that.
Why? It's
gonna they can give me shit in DMs.
No, it's going to skew people's votes for next year. You don't want to see that.
Of course not.
Okay.
All right, Sean, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, buddy.
Go watch the...
What do you mean, that's it?
That's it, man. It was 10 minutes.
You watch this show. You know it's about 10 minutes.
Give us a soundbite. Give us a soundbite. Go.
No. Okay. Till next week, right?
Give me something to edit. Go.
Till next week.
Throw me the ball. Go.
Next week.
Hey, okay, guys. Have a good night. Go to bed, man. Sleep.
We will.
Thanks, Sean.
Ciao.
Have a good one.
All right, 4A and 4B. I saw this game. Controversy at its finest. Super Saiyans Infantry.
Oh, I heard about this, but so what's the give me the breakdown.
All right, so we'll get the box score up so we can get the score. 40-39 victory for Infantry.
Did the scorekeeper screw up the score or something? Or?
No. It had nothing to do with the scorekeeper.
The 4A, right?
So it was a 39-34 lead for Super Saiyans with one play left. All right,
39-34, one play left.
One play left.
Who has the ball?
Infantry has the ball.
Okay.
Midfield.
Okay.
San Submersion drops back, roughing the quarterback.
Oh.
Super Saiyans think they've won. No, roughing the quarterback. So they move
Was
it up.
was it a legit call?
It was.
Okay.
Legit call. So they move it up.
Who was the rusher?
Who is rusher for Super Saiyans? I think it's number 6. If you go to the roster, I think Johnny Johnson is the rusher. I believe it's him. Anyway,
makes sense.
So we replay the last play again, and Sean drops back. All you hear is a slap of the hand to the wrist of the throwing arm. Guess what happened?
Roughing the passer.
That is correct. So we move the ball to the 1-yard line. Next play, Sean drops back. Game-winning touchdown to Dylan Daou. Game, set, match. Fireworks erupt of trash talking from both teams. Super Saiyans believing the referees screwed them over, which is incorrect because the Saiyans, if they had a game of the week, would see that the quarterback was impeded not once but twice.
Yeah.
And a big loss.
It's game of the week?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's a big loss for the Saiyans because that really hurts their playoff standings, whereas Infantry, given what they had to go up against, they come through in the clutch, and that was a huge win for the Infantry's mindset.
So Super Saiyans, to me, I was actually talking about this with Jordan. I was like, aren't you guys like outside looking in? He goes, no, we're pretty good. And then this happens. So they're 8th place right now. Would you have, at the beginning of the season, would you have said that they were going to be 3-5?
Nope. I would have thought they'd be 5-3.
No way. What's the story with them? Click on Super Saiyans, the team, Eagle. I want to see total.
I think the schedule has not been as
Friendly to them?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got Chocolate Thunder. Tough matchup first week, but whatever. It's a loss. Chocolate Thunder right now, they're first place in their division. Then they lose to Outlaws. That's a win. That should have been a win for them.
Oh, Kevin Kusai thinks they're fake.
So the thing is with Kevin, Outlaws this is the best Outlaws we've ever seen, and they're only 4-4. Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
Like roster wise, Isaiah, Justin Lerner, even GM, Kevin Kusai. They've got some really good talent out there, and Stephen H. He's a very good player, a very good quarterback.
Well, first 3 losses were 1 possession defeats.
Exactly. Then they lose to Domeso, Texas. Okay, I'll give them that loss. They should still be 2-1, I think, at this point after 3 games. They're 0-3. Then they start rolling. They beat the Tide. They beat Les Centaures. Who else they beat? They beat CDE. So I mean, they beat the teams that are below them in caliber. They couldn't beat the teams that are above them. So I don't see them going into the playoffs with the confidence they had last year, losing to the Outlaws in the semifinals.
Admittedly, the Super Saiyans have the second hardest schedule in Div 4A.
It's tough. It's tough. But at the end of the day, so does the rest of this subdivision, right? The 4A West or whatever it is.
Well, the one saving
Conference
grace
B.
for them is that...
so the top 3 hardest schedules come from Conference B.
Yeah, there you go.
Saving grace for them is that they beat Les Centaures, so they have the head-to-head with them if they end up with the same win-loss record at the end of the season.
Who do they have left, Super Saiyans?
Saiyans have Mad Bears. Mad Bears 0-8, and they have... Rifted.
So Mad Bears, I score kept their game. They threw I don't think they threw a touchdown. I don't think they had any points. I think they lost 39-0.
Yeah, but they blame everybody though. The Mad Bears.
No, but they were missing like 4 guys. They were missing Sebastian Thibault. He wasn't there.
Anyway, they're out of playoffs.
Yeah.
Centaur can potentially get in. I mean, it's unlikely.
They need to win out and hope Saiyans lose out. That's how I look at it for them.
Mad Bears being 0-8, man, that's a tough one.
Yes and no, right? Because they have the head-to-head, which they're playing, so that's going to be a big difference maker. But otherwise, if you take a look at it, Centaur also have they have the Tide this week, and then they have C2E the week after.
Yeah, and C2E is kind of like they've kind of gone in some rough turbulence right now with their schedule. Like they jumped out to a 4-0 start, have not been that great, and I think Commitment to Excellence Inc. will be probably your 4. But like when you look at 5, 6, and 7, Dream Breakers, I think they're a good team,
I think so
good
too.
roster of connection over there. But I don't look, right now, the top three, Don't Mess with Texas, I think, is probably the weakest of the top three. That Tyler just played tonight in Baydurfe. So they're still in play for the number 1 seed. But I think right now, those bottom 3 guys, 6, 7, 8, could probably be one of those top 3 teams. I think Don't Mess with Texas is probably the weakest of the 3. I'd rather play Don't Mess with Texas in the first round
than Tide. I would never want to play Doug McKernan, Kernan McDoug in the playoffs.
Or Chocolate Thunder.
Or Chocolate Thunder. Chocolate Thunder is one of those. There's like those semifinal final teams. You know, for some reason they're always there. You know what I mean?
They're going deep in the playoffs.
Joe Cano. And yeah, they usually go deep in the playoffs. So yeah, I agree with you, Mo. I think Don't Mess with Texas is the one team that I would rather play than out of all those 3. But if I'm looking at Super Saiyans and Outlaws, I think those 2 teams can beat any of the teams in the top 5.
They could, but the problem is with Super Saiyans that they're undisciplined.
They don't have that clutch factor.
What is a clutch factor?
It's like that ability to close out games, right? In that moment, you need someone to make a really big play that's going to change the outcome of the game, and they just don't have it this year.
You don't need to be clutch for that. You need to close out a game.
They have a bunch of players that can make great
Who are you
plays.
talking about?
Super
Saiyans. Okay.
But it's just like nobody is that star when they need them to be a star, right? It's like
Rich
you
Humes
need your Ovechkin to score a goal, and it's the one game he doesn't type of thing.
Rich Humes is supposed to be that guy, but with a bum knee, I guess.
He's still recovering. It's going to take him another year to fully get back his range of motion. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't given himself a break either. He played on it right away.
No, but if you flip over to Conference A, that is the death row of power teams, the Murderers Row. Look at that. Bandit Brothers, no question, they're the best team. Infantry, like I said, they got lucky because the brain fart by Super Saiyans enabled them to have not 1 but 2 kicks to the can, and then LVF, that's my team. I think
your boys.
Those are my boys, and that's a team no one wants to face.
But look at the top 3 compared to the bottom 3.
It's a big disparity.
Holy shit!
What about half the stars though? Would you put them in the top 3 or?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I watched them play this week and wasn't too impressed. They beat the Outlaws, but it was just Langbird is one of the biggest gamers you'll see, right? Like he's always there. He's gonna make a play. He's just one of those guys, right? But I think everything revolves around him. And as soon as something bad happens, everything else goes to shit.
I think this is the first year we see a half a stars that looks not weak, but is beatable. Like in the past year, like you see it on your schedule, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, they're tough. They're not tough to play against anymore.
But this year, it's like, okay, well, they're vulnerable, right?
That's
like,
it,
there's ways to beat them, and it's pretty obvious.
They're
they've been figured out.
They're like the Chicago Blackhawks. They're not like Chicago Blackhawks used to not want to play against them. Now it's like they're tough. They're not tough to beat anymore.
They're playing above their weight class. That's what it is with half stars.
I don't think so. I just think that they don't have Corey Wowoski from their championship team. They don't have any of that. You know what I mean? So now that they don't have the guy. Langbird is the guy, and he's the only one able to do it on his team.
In the bottom here, 7 to 10. I'm not counting Sphinx because they probably hold their spot.
Yeah.
Bleu Branleur have KGP Raw this week. That's their last game on their schedule.
KGP Raw beat Mad Bears this week, 40-0.
Again, guys, we're missing.
No, but KGP Raw.
A Squad has 2 games left. They're playing Eskimo Brothers and Bandit Brothers. You have Touched by an Angeletti, who's playing Bandit Brothers and Half a Stars.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And then you have KGP Raw, who only has Bleu Branleur left. So you think Angeletti, like KGP Raw, basically they need to beat them to leapfrog them, and then they need to potentially rely on Angeletti not staying in or A Squad.
And A Squad has, you said who?
Eskimo
Brothers
has
and
Eskimo Brothers and Bandit Brothers.
Oh man, A Squad's out.
They're in tough.
A Squad's going to be out. I think KGP Raw gets in at that 8 seed.
And Angeletti, you think they also squeeze?
Out.
No.
Bleu Branleur and KGP Raw are going to be in.
I think I agree with Terry on that.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, there's definitely more of a chasm with Conference A with how.
But who knows? Who are we?
We
are no one.
There's technically an outcome where Sphinx can also be kicked out because they're playing Half a Stars and Verschfol. But I mean, there's a lot of like question marks there to make that actually.
You need a
happen.
lot of losses to happen too. They're pretty safe, I think. But they have two wins left. They have to win at least one.
Yeah, because basically Angeletti needs to win both its games, and A Squad needs to win both its games to effectively kick out Sphinx, right?
Sphinx need one win, and they clinch.
Yep.
So yeah.
All right, 4B. Looking at this quick here, 4B games that I saw. Take over Sheriff. That was a fun game to do. This could very well be a playoff matchup here. I thought Sheriff came out slow. Louis Béjean had a terrible game, 4 INTs. Didn't play well.
Uncle Rico.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game for the Sheriff. I know they were missing guys themselves, but the Sheriff, I thought, would have put up a better fight. They did. They were down by 2 scores at one point. They got it down to 1 score. But I think take over with what they've built. We talked about this from weeks past. It is set up for them to finally win themselves a 4B title. Ryan Dobbs-Gardner has been a revelation for them. He was a late-season acquisition, and he's changed that defense around. And when you look at this team, Vincent Benjamin, he's a stud receiver. He's
And a defender.
And defender, and he is their go-to player on that offense. And for the Sheriff, it's a befuddling loss because for Louis Bégin, I would have expected more from him given that he had less to work with, which did not go in his favor.
I mean, Louis Bégin having less to work with is one thing, but Louis Bégin throwing 4 picks is another. If you're going to be throwing 4 picks, it's because you're not making the right read. I mean, tell me you don't have all your players, you change your game plan. That's what happens to Louis Bégin. I feel like he's so set in one way of playing that if the defense doesn't pick up on it, he'll do well. As soon as the defense picks up on it, he's done. And that's what happens with Sheriff. He has great players on his team, man. Great players. Alexis Besset, he's one of the best players I've seen in this division. I speak very highly of that player. But there's something missing with Louis, and I can't figure it out.
The thing is, though, Terry, had the Sheriff won that football game, they would have been in the 2 seed right now. Now they're at the 5. So that means you end up playing a Backwood Boys roster, which, like, Backwood Boys.
Give me the standings, Eagle, please.
Backwood Boys are a solid team right now. That is a team that has everything rolling for them. Their quarterback play has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I don't want to face them. I don't want to face them. And
why would you?
Like, if Takeover today would play Philp, which in my books, I think that's a easier matchup. Even though with a guy like Danny Demore on the roster and that core that they have built, I'd rather go against them than the Backwood Boys in round number 1. Freshman, who cares?
To answer a question from earlier, Alex Noel got half of Louis Bégin's attempts thrown at him.
There you go.
Crazy.
Yeah, when's that going up on the actual
Soon. There's still a few things we're working out. This is the test season, so.
Okay.
By the way, how did that go for everybody? Did everyone? I tried.
I was doing it.
I was doing it.
I did it for the most
That's
part.
why it's a test season, because we're still trying to figure out the mechanics of like who's doing what and when. And
we're talking about the scorekeeping because for people who don't know.
Targets, receiving targets, right?
And now you're able to put who's targeted.
Yeah.
So when I'm scorekeeping, I put it. If it's I won't put it if it's like
completely thrown out of bounds or something.
Yeah, something like that. But like I'll throw it if it's like
With
directly into the guy's hands, if the guy makes contact on it,
Yeah.
or if it's like a deep ball and the guy's like isolated kind of thing, and where the play is meant for him, I'll put it. But I won't put it all. I'll say I put it 75% of the time.
Conference A right now, you have 4 teams at 2 and 6. ZTs are holding the 8th spot. Dream Chasers, Warhawks, Finessers, all 2 and 6. I don't know, man. This is going to be.
We spoke about finessers last week.
Yes.
So let's talk about ZTs. Show me ZTs.
ZTs, they have
Champlain
Ballers and Class on Grass left in their schedule.
Not easy. That is a tough schedule. I can't see them getting in with that. You're playing 2 of the top 3 teams.
Dream Chasers have Show Me Your TDs and Easy W.
Nope. Out. Salut.
Warhawks have Easy W and Ballers.
Oh, forget about them. They're
Yeah, so
done.
I think
And
ZTs are in.
Team Ethnic have Finessers. No, sorry. Finessers have Team Ethnic and Mean Machine.
That's an easier lineup because the quality of where they are.
I think it's up to finessers and ZTs at this point. I think Dream Chasers and Warhawks, it looks like their matchups aren't favorable
And
to them.
just to play devil's advocate, Show Me Your TDs only has Dream Chasers left. So technically, if they lose that game, they could also potentially slip out.
Yeah, but they win, they're in. That's how. That's
And then Ballers, we talked about it. They have ZTs and Warhawks on their schedules.
If they win, I think they mathematically eliminate Dream Chasers depending on if ZTs win or not.
yeah, I
Right.
think that's right.
So yeah, there you go. But I think it's going to be ZTs in for sure.
ZTs have the inside track.
Yeah.
But if finessers can, and look, Ryan Caruth can do it, right? He's got the Brazilian Mapanguara on that roster.
What do you guys call him? The Brazilian what?
Mapanguara.
Mapanguara.
Bacalani.
Yeah.
Mapanguara, what does that mean?
It's like
Animal
a
from Brazil.
what is it again?
It's a spiritual thing.
Right. It's like
Show
a
me.
Brazilian,
Show
like
me.
something Brazilian culture involved.
I consider myself part Brazilian
Yes, I know. You're jiu-jitsu?
because of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, yes.
Yes, that's right. Sao Paulo, right?
Nope. Montreal.
Montreal. Okay, sorry, I just thought You're looking at that, like samba. You like samba jiu-jitsu, right?
Samba?
Yeah.
It's a dance?
Yeah.
You're for sure an awful dancer.
I'm asking samba
You have
jiu-jitsu.
2 left feet.
But I'm saying that you're
And
Brazilian.
no rhythm.
Joga Bonito, man. Nike slogan.
Joga Bonito. Remember those videos? Those Joga Bonito
Yeah,
videos? I
Eric
loved
Cantona
them.
was
Eric
pretty
Cantona,
good.
yeah.
That was good. Okay, so back to what we're looking at here.
Cantona. It's Cantona. Say it properly.
Yes, any brother say Cantona. I look at it from this way. ECW, probably vulnerable. They always have those awful tap-out games in round number 1. And I don't know if they have that ability to go far in the playoffs. B-Ballers, I like them a lot. They're good all-around football team. But show me your TDs. They've been too inconsistent for my liking to really buy into.
As usual. I mean, you don't really know what you're going to get with Show Me Your TDs. So ECW is the team to beat, I think, in this playoff, in this conference.
What about Team Ethnic or Mean Machine?
I mean, as much as I like Team Ethnic, I just don't see them making a big run. I see it more in Mean Machine because Goloff, for me, has this weird, I'm just going to get it done attitude, Like, he just doesn't give a shit.
Right.
And he gets it done all the time.
Well, we'll find out.
Team Ethnic, I think they'll probably make a second-round play and then lose to a tough team.
Last thing, B-Ballers, their schedule, before we wrap it up here, their last 2 games are who against?
We also have Conference B to take a look at, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Their last game is Backwood Boys and Team Ethnic.
Tough games.
Oof, don't know if they go undefeated. Conference B.
So my favorite team in Conference B. Oh, who is it?
Oh, it's LGC.
Yeah, I love these guys because the quarterback is unbelievable. Not because he's good, because of the shit he talks. The guy's classic, man. He's tiny. He runs. He talks shit. He's funny. I love it, man. What's Ledoux? His name? Lefort.
It is. I'll tell you right now.
Dom Lefort.
Dom Lefort. Yeah, there you go.
He's got a. You know what?
He's got something. He's got the it factor.
That's the Mike Mayock. He's got the it factor.
It's quick and fast.
Quick and fast, man. Reads the field well. Like open field, you can't.
Military
stop him.
family. No, impossible.
You can't stop him.
Impossible.
Okay, so for the
Show me
final
OK
game,
Boomers.
you have freshmen playing OK Boomers. So War Pigs, you're eliminated. I'm sorry. It sucks to be you, but one of these teams is going to win.
Okay,
Yes.
but
I mean,
question for
unless
you.
they don't.
Unless they
Tie.
No,
No, because even then.
No, it's
Oh, they both. Well, what happens? Who gets in if they tie?
Well,
no.
But War Pigs can't get in.
No,
is what
no.
I'm
Forget
saying.
about War Pigs. Who gets in if freshmen tie? If freshmen and boomers tie?
Freshmen get in because they have lower PA.
When do they play this game here, freshman OK Boomers?
They are playing Hey Bear March 11th, 11 o'clock. Oh, my God.
That's the
What
worst
day
game
is
ever.
that?
It's a Wednesday.
Oh, what
Oh,
field?
wow.
What field?
What field?
3.
Yes, Seamo's field. Seamo's field. Yes. Not my field.
No, I want to score keep that game. Freshmen always play on field 3. Do you notice?
Yeah, they do.
They always do.
So basically, that's the battle for 8th right there. Whoever wins that game gets into the playoffs. Winning in. Straight up.
Winning in, huh?
Actually, you know what? Can we flip that to one of our fields?
No. Why? Just switch with Simon.
What do we know you for, man?
I don't do the schedule.
Because we do 1 and 2 on Wednesdays.
Okay,
we leave
so-
Simon by himself.
Okay, so tell Simon you want field 3 then.
No, he won't change.
No.
No.
Well, then screw you guys.
He won't change.
Okay, I'll just change it.
Yeah, we're going back. I remember I did that one time.
Don't tell the Eagle, but I'm
I won't say
do it
what the team was, but GM and I worked the
Don't
back
tell the
room.
Eagle, but he's probably going to die at 37.
Captain
years old.
Constipated is not going to be happy about that.
He's very constipated right
He
now. That's pretty good. So give me friends in low places. Who do they have left?
Philp?
Yeah, Philp.
Philp have the Sheriff and Les Gros Coq.
So they'll beat Sheriff because Danny's going to pick off Louis Beijing twice. Okay?
Yeah, and Beijing's
then they have Les
always
Gros
hurt,
Coq. I think it's a loss to Les Gros Coq.
Villeray Goons, though, I think could be a sneaky good team now. They've kind of picked
Villeray.
Up.
Oh, I just moved to Villeray. My boys.
They're playing Mangoose in their last game.
Who are the Villeray Goons?
It's the Greek freak, Dimitrios Sinodinos.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's Lazarus, the team we watched yesterday.
No, that's a different team.
Show me. Villeray Goons. Show
Yeah.
me the roster.
This is with your boy. There you go.
Oh, these guys. Yeah, classic. These are the Villeray Goons. I love it. I love representing Villeray.
You just lived there for like 2 days.
It's it's been 2 days. Yeah.
He's very quick to assimilate.
Yeah, I like to be a part of a community.
He's already riding a bike and swapping apartments.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Exactly. Using the bike lane very well. But
I walk. I get my grocery for the day, not for the week. I come home.
Villeray Goons, though, they had a rough
No
start
breed.
this season. Rough start to the year, but they've picked it up now. I think Dinos has figured out the FPF game better now than where he was week 1, week 2.
Yeah.
But I think they go as far as his arm can take him. That's how I see it. With
What
him.
a cannon of an arm that guy has. Oh, man. Cannon of
throw
an arm.
yesterday. Very sick throw yesterday.
Dropped it on a dime.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
Do
to
you
Salim's hand.
think Takeover catches Mangoose for number 1?
I don't know. I got to see the roster. I got to see the rest of the game.
Mangoose is obviously playing Villeray Goons this week, and then their last week they're playing Backwood Boys. And then Takeover, they have War Pigs.
Wow, so Takeover's going to win?
So I say Mangoose. So Mangoose has to win at least one to tie.
Yeah, I say Mangoose takes it.
And did Mangoose already play Takeover?
Well, good point. They must have.
They did in week 3. Mangoose won 40 to 39.
It's over. Mango's number 1.
Well, no, we say Takeover's going to win. So Mangoose needs to win at least one of the 2
One
games.
game, yeah. They can win one game.
Yeah, they 1 of 2 they're in, so as a 1 seed. So I think
Goons or Boys?
What?
They're playing Goons or Boys. They got to win
Oh,
one of those
okay.
2 games.
Look, I think this is a tougher bracket for the 2 divisions. So for the 2 divisions in this conference. Oh, well, 2 conferences in this division.
Oof, it's getting later. We can't even structure sentences. And we had Sean on. Kills all my brain cells.
Breaking news.
Oh, yeah.
Doug McKernan is reporting that the Tide has beaten Eskimo Brothers 53 to 46. So that's breaking news.
That was 2 hours ago they played.
Yes.
So
Right,
how's
it's
that
not on
breaking
the-
news?
it's not on the website yet.
Should have been announced like at 9:30.
We just got the update now when Doug got home.
Oh boy.
We're getting the news when it comes in here. Reporters are on the ground giving us all the updates.
Yes. Who's a Faizan and Noah Lachance and,
Yeah.
and lovely Baderfe.
Speaking of updates, we also have a quick update on 35 Plus. There's no games tonight. However, the playoff schedule has been determined because all the
really?
games were last week. So we now have a breakdown of what the semifinals and technically what the finals are going to look like too. So just going to give you a breakdown of this.
Oh, wow.
Next week, because not this week, next week we have 4 semifinal games. So FPF is playing JMJ and Polvige is playing Pizzazz in the draft division semifinals. And then Monster is playing the MTL Spitfire for the semifinals for the Tier 1 of 35 Plus. And Pacemakers is playing Grumpy Old X-Men for the Tier 2 semifinals. So the winner of Monster Spitfire, the Monster Spitfire will play OAS. The winner of Pacemakers and Grumpy Old X-Men will play Old Age Outlaws. And then the winner of FPF JMJ will play the winner of Polvige and Pizzazz in the finals on the 19th.
Thank God this is coming to an end here. 35 going over.
Why?
Again,
I hear so many good things about 35. I can't wait till next year.
I said my piece. These guys separate themselves from where we are. Don't want to have their finals.
Simon, you're calling Simon?
Yeah, because Simon's supposed to give us an update on the playoff picture and everything.
Is he actually going to answer this time?
He's supposed to.
Is he going to answer because it's me and it's not Peas?
That's exactly why.
He should answer because it's me and it's not Peas.
We even told him we're calling him, and he's like, okay, I'll be available.
But this is classic Simon. He won't answer his phone.
Warriors.
Yeah.
He won't answer a text for like 8 hours.
No, he answers my text within minutes.
He'll only answer if it's like, if he's going to be part of that, whatever you're doing. So if I'm at the field and I text him, he'll answer me. But if I'm not, he won't answer me.
Vous avez joint.
Oh, gee. Are we leaving a message?
Simon Dagenet.
Veuillez laisser votre message après le signal sonore. Après avoir laissé un message, vous pouvez raccrocher ou appuyer sur le carré pour entendre plus d'options.
Listen here, Simon. You have no idea what you're doing. You're absolutely useless. I don't know why Rob even decides to pay you. Your hair is awful. You have a horrible throwing motion. I still love you, though. And that's it. Thank you and have a good night.
You're not far away, Simon. You can walk up there if you want. You come with Sophie. It's a great time. You can spend from your time from 12 to 8 p.m. both days. Gold medal game will be 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Sunday.
I heard a beep.
Noon and 2. Clocks move up an hour. Don't forget, Simon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Screw you.
Clocks move up an hour, by the way, this weekend.
They do?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, this week.
You know, we should just do like Arizona. Arizona doesn't do like, fuck it, we don't care.
Saskatchewan too.
Saskatchewan too?
Yeah.
There you go.
Any comments or feedback on these games that are coming up?
How can we, Eagle?
Well, because they haven't happened.
That's what I'm saying, though. How can we? But the point is, though, when we do this podcast, they're playing the games live.
But they're not playing now. They're playing next week.
But I don't know anything about this division. We haven't seen anything about this division.
I feel like that's your job as a journalist to know the division.
Not necessarily, man. Not necessarily.
I feel like it's your job to know what you're talking about.
Not necessarily with that division.
I can't wait for
35
35 plus. Actually, everybody tells me it's a fun time.
I believe it.
Maybe I'll rejuvenate as a quarterback.
Mo, you're more than 35, right?
Yeah, but I don't
Mo's
care. We're
like
going to West
39.
Don't want to go to New Ontario. Go play football. These guys for.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, imagine you, Eagle, going from here to New Ontario. Forget about it.
All right.
No.
Candies aren't sweeter in New Ontario.
All right.
Oh, do they have a candy shop down there?
Oh, yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Good stuff, Mo.
Always.
He's waiting for me to say stuff, but I'm not going to do it.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Eagle, for fixing my mistake from last week.
Namaste.
Thank you to Tara. Did you just turn off my mic?
No. No, you turned off the headset.
Yeah. So thank you to Tara. Thank you to JF. Thank you to Sean Avraam of the Hall of Fame for coming on. We appreciate it. If any feedback, send it to Eagle. He loves answering people's messages. He's very efficient at it. He's also better at doing that job than anybody else has ever been. Thank you, Eagle. Thank you, Moe Khan, as usual. Good stuff.
Thank you, Terry, for being a better host than Mo. Thank God one of you is university educated at radio broadcasting.
Not me.
It's not him either.